are you going to see a gap that big? Dude, this is Nitro Rallycross. Let's get ready to send it!
Welcome, everybody, as we fly on in here in more ways than one. This is ERX Motor Park, just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Elk River, to be exact. This is round 2 of Nitro Rallycross. So excited to be here, both in person or if you're watching at home. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me once again. We had round 1 just last weekend. Andrew Coley is in the building, the Brit, the voice of Rallycross. It's a pleasure to be sitting next to you and calling some Rallycross action. Let's talk about this nearly mile-long course.
It's so different. It's green and it's wet. Like it's the total opposite of Utah.
You brought your weather over here, man.
I did. I even brought a coat. You know, I figured, it might rain. I must admit, I didn't think it was going to rain quite as much as it rained last night. These were pictures from early this morning when the track was super green. But we've seen some great racing, and that's helped clean the track up here at ERX Motor Park. Look at that. Hollywood-style sign and some Hollywood-style action.
Yeah, so we kick things off with side-by-side. The side-by-sides are awesome. They're very capable machines. And we see Travis out there. He got into the wall with his side-by-side. And then that's not how you want to be towed off course here. But then we got into next car, and then, of course, we got into supercars.
Yeah, the track cleaned up a lot. That was the idea of putting out the side-by-sides early on. They're all-wheel drive cars. They're 900cc, a couple of hundred horsepower, but they run a big mud-style paddle tyre. That cleaned things up. Didn't clean it up enough for Ollie Eriksson there. I mean, Ollie Eriksson, wow, that was super close to rolling the car. And then Travis actually came through and tagged him as well. So we've seen plenty of action. But the track, looking out from our announcing booth here, is looking in great shape now. They said the track come to us, sun's out, fans are here, we're good to go.
Oh, you need to do that emoji right here, like, It's so good. The track is absolutely transforming. But let's throw it down to Katie Osborne, another member of our team who's with the number 199. That is Travis Pastrana.
That's exactly right. And he is interacting with the fans here. Hey, it's like a birthday party for him, which isn't a few days from now, in fact, but it's already been a busy day for you, Travis. We've had a couple of practices, some Can-Am work. I mean, but your team is thrashing right now. What's going on?
Well, qualified P1, which is awesome, like 0.0 hundredths of nothing over Timmy. But unfortunately, Eriksson, my spotter was saying stay in, but we caught him really, really quick on that last lap trying to put in, because I didn't know what Timmy was going to do on that last one either. So, no, I feel really good. Great car. The Carlsons are doing such a great job with this track. It's really coming in, and hopefully it widens out to where we get some great racing, which we know we can have on this. I get a bye in the first round of qualifying, and hopefully see Timmy in that final. So I just can't say enough for the team. Unfortunately, with the Can-Am, I bicycled it. I like 2 wheels, I guess, more than 4. I got it under control and then smashed the wall, so that wasn't the best. I really want to race Deegan, but hopefully tomorrow. Here. Yeah, bud. All right. It's awesome having all the fans out here, and just it's a lot of fun. So P1 with damage, we'll see if these guys will get it fixed, and we got a great car.
And you said you're feeling well, but there was some talk that you were having some funky issues with the shoulder. How you feel with that?
Nope, I'm fine, all set.
There's definitely some chuckles around here. We're going to let him get back with the fans, guys. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, that's pretty funny there, Katie. He says, nope, no problem. Everything's fine. Here's a look at the schedule. Up next on the NRX train, we have literally next. We're talking about next heats. Then we go into our side-by-side presented by Pit Viper semifinals. We go into the next car semifinals, Supercar battles round 1 and 2. More Supercross action. That's the lay of the land. We're going to kick things off with our next heats coming up next. You think Travis's shoulder's really hurt?
I think Travis's
he
shoulder
shakes it off.
Hurt. I think he's clever. He's a clever enough sportsman to know that he doesn't want to give anything away to the other guys. You know, he's not going to say that he's hurting, because these cars are physically pretty tough to drive, and he won't want them to know. I wonder if he'll continue with side by side or maybe not. You know, take a break from that and focus on the factory Subaru drive.
What's at stake here for Martin Enlund on the front and Sage Karam, and then bring up the rear? Look, you got the Swedes on one side, you got the Americans on the other, you got Kasper Janssen and Eric Gordon. What's at stake here in this heat?
So we got the winner of each race will go through. Then they're going to have a semi-final later where the winner will go through, and then we have an LCQ which kind of decides the back of the grid. So really all these races are about deciding what row you're on. you want to win earlier in the day. So ideally you win a heat race. You know, if not, a semi's great. That sees you on the second row. But, you know, if you have to wait to the LCQ, you could be bringing up the rear. We've got 7 of these NRX Next cars here. And, yeah, you want to be front row. It's going to be really important.
Yeah. Get the clean air. Don't get the dirt in your face. Who's one to watch in your mind?
Okay, in this one we've got Hansen and Eric Gordon. We've got Sage Karam and Martin Enland. Enland was quickest this morning during practice. Sage Karam was on the podium 3-4 times back in ARX. Kasper Janssen won last weekend, and Eric Gordon at the back of the grid there with the orange and white. He didn't even go out this morning in practice. He was like, it was so green. I just went out. I was like, I'm not going to risk the car. And the track's now come in, so he's going to be down a little bit on inexperience in terms of them. But it's Enland with the whole shot off the line.
Enland gets it out front, kind of crawling into that first turn. You got to think that last time the next cars were out here, it was considerably wet. It was more moist than it is now, but right now looks like it's drying out. It's really changing color, and you had that observation earlier. What does that mean when you say changing color?
It's a rally thing, and it applies to rallycross and dirt racing as well. If you look at the color of the turn there on the outside, it's now a nice light color. If you look at the muddy, darker color, it gives you a really good indication when you're the driver where the grip is. So look here.
At that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's a perfect example. Obviously, if it's shiny, it's ultra slick. With that wide line, you heard Travis say earlier on, I'm hoping it's going to widen up and give us great racing. By that, it means we don't want to groove in these wet conditions where you can't pass. So there into the Joker lap. Who was it that went Joker? It was Gordon who went Joker from the back of the pack. Good idea.
Yeah, Janssen.
Oh, Janssen, sorry. Yeah, both of them. Yeah. So that your indicators are there next to 3 and 4 on the left side of the screen. So yeah, the track's definitely coming in.
Kasper Janssen yesterday, notably, you said he has scrapes on his hood. He has scrapes on his hood. Travis was talking about he kind of bicycled in on his nose, but Kasper, he literally did.
Sage Karam bicycling it there up in the hairpin. Yeah, so basically yesterday, have a look at Travis Pastrana's Instagram. You'll see Lane Michaela land at the 199. So they put up feet markers, so 50, 100, 150, and then 199 for Travis. And he was like, we didn't think anybody would get down there. And Sage landed the car on the nose down there, and there was a lot of repairs needed doing. But Kasper Janssen actually flew even further than that. Yeah. The difference was he landed correctly. You've got to try and land the car on the down ramp, Jared. You know, like a motocross, you've got to try and land it on the down ramp. Into the Joker goes Sage Karam now. He was 1.8 back, a bit of Bruce behind him. He's going to come out in the same position. Let's see what he is back from. He's now 4.5, so it's 2.7 at this point. It's pretty slow for these guys, the Joker.
Yeah. All right, so Enland's still out front, and as you said, strategy, if you get the clean air, you're out front, hit that Joker lap on that last lap, as opposed to those that are bringing up the rear can maybe gain some ground, take it early on. And like you said, it's so short, just a quick little pit stop, but you can see how close they're really flirting with that wall and that big wall of dirt as well. So it's going to slow them down a little bit.
It's K-rail both sides. You get it wrong in there, and you're definitely going to be repairing stuff. So it looks narrow and it looks easy, but don't be fooled by that. Martin Enland's on a great run here. I saw him this morning at the driver's briefing. He was all smiles. He's coming up now. He's got a joke on this last one, 5.8. He's edged out another 4/10 on this, even on the normal lap, Jared.
I'm taking a look over at that jump, and as we follow Enland, our leader right now, I'm seeing Kasper's vehicle. The way the attitude of his vehicle is so nose heavy compared to all the other cars.
They're all the same, so it's a spec class. I know exactly what you mean. So my point is really, if they're all the same, they should all be able to fly the same. So it comes down to driver technique and a little bit to settings. Maybe the rear of the car is kicking a bit because of what they've done with the suspension settings. So maybe they need to dial it in a little bit more. But the big thing with Lane Michaela was just doing the wrong thing in the air. You jump on the brake and you put the centrifugal force of the wheel spinning. Puts the car on its nose. So you've got to get on the gas if you want the nose to come up. It's not easy to learn.
Centrifugal. I see centrifugal.
Really? Yeah. Is that like aluminium?
Yeah. It's Jaguar. Yeah, it's a Jaguar. And vitamins. Yeah, it's centrifugal.
Trunk.
Here we go. Watch Kasper. Look how nose down he goes.
Yeah, he's not jumping it super high. You're looking at Enland now into the Joker lap, on board with the drone. It's tight in on that left-hand side. That's a really tidy run through there. Sage Karam not going to get anywhere near him. He's in the background, and Enland is going to take this, and he'll go straight through to the final.
Yep, so there is 4 laps down for Enland, Karam. Now Kasper Janssen. I'm telling you, the attitude of that car.
He's coming up short.
Yeah.
I think he's not attacking them quite enough. Just needs a little bit more to clear the nose. He did the same, didn't he? And just ran the wheels across the top of the crest.
All right, so Martin Enland gets that victory. He will advance on. Yeah, he just from start to finish. It was an all Enland show. It was Enland before it began.
He's here all week.
Here all weekend.
Our audio guy just gave me a really nasty look. I don't know why.
The start grid here on tarmac is uphill, so that's not easy to get these cars off the line. All the supercars, so you're fighting gravity as well as traction. Got to try and get it right. If you get it wrong, you get too much wheel spin, then you can go backwards. But Enlund just got a great start, basically, and from there you can see Kasper Jansen has a look to the inside. He may have been protecting from Eric Gordon, but that part of the track's pretty green, so it's tough at the minute to go offline.
When you say green, kind of fresh, it's
yeah,
early,
yeah, and kind of the same thing applies to when you hear about the street circuits rubbering in, the track's green here. The track's green because the dirt hasn't come in yet. We might even see blue groove. They're telling us if the weather's good tomorrow.
Blue groove equates to, for those that don't know, putting some rubber down, hardening the dirt, and getting more traction. So that all equates to a good time and faster lap.
We never thought we'd see. Remember when Travis was like, "You were going to get blue groove in Utah"? We were like, "Absolutely no way, mate!" And then it came in big time, didn't it?
And yeah, that Yokohama Tire Joker coming into play here. I love the high and the low. Like you said, there's multiple different options, and there's that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. It's a great concept. So you see, it does add some time. Have we kind of?
That's why this place should race well. All the drivers are saying it's wide, so I can try an alternate line and not kill my lap time entirely.
Right.
It should race brilliantly, but for that to happen, we need the whole track to develop a bit more. At the minute, I'd say the line is a couple of cars wide now. It was only a car wide this morning. Hey, Jansen's offline. You can see he's off the super nice line, and the more people do that, the more the track's going to develop, and the more chance we'll see of a few passes. Hopefully it's going to be bang on for the battles.
All right, so here is Heats race number 2. There is the results from Heats race 1. Martin Enlund will advance on. The others will go to the LCQ, or excuse me, the semis, and yeah, continue on, man.
Yeah, semis and then on to LCQ. You really want to win that semi and get yourself up on the road too if you can. This one's slightly easier ride with only 3 cars in it, but still important to try and get the W.
Who to watch here? John Holker, George McGinnis, who we saw him on the podium, and Lane Vakela. You're talking about how him airing it out. George McGinnis, absolutely impressed.
Yeah.
In Utah, he was all smiles.
He won on day 2.
And he also almost cussed on camera.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he came the closest to getting the beat machine out, didn't he? But he was so excited about that. I saw him and his mum yesterday. His mum was like, cool. Do I need to be worried here? I said, there's no gap jumps. She said, are there many jumps? I was like, no, you're good.
Yeah, right. Man, you were a terrible liar.
Don't watch.
Go. Who's going to get the jump as the green goes? And again, a newcomer. Oh, look at that. Getting a bump in the back. John Holker.
Vakela got away so well there. He got straight into Holker, didn't he? Holker was actually pretty good this morning in practice. Set some good times, but it is McGinnis who's got out first, and that's great for him. Got to keep that door shut now into the braking zone.
And this is the first time we're seeing Holker here. Oh, look at that. Gets in the back on McGinnis as he crawls through that turn 2.
Lane Vakela's almost inside him there. You're going to see that a lot this weekend, but you see the car squirreling around trying to find some traction on the exit. Again, there's not quite enough track width for him to be able to try and gun it up the inside. And the alternate lines are definitely off for me at the minute. They're all going high here because that part of the track has been really cleaned up. The low line hasn't.
Holker, a rookie here to the Nitro Next car. First time we're seeing him here this year. We didn't see him in Utah, so excited to get just some fresh faces. Oh, look at that. Holker attacks on McGinnis. Zero chill, Holker.
Great move. And so he actually races side-by-sides, Jared, so he's used to these conditions. McGinnis going to try and come back at him now. Into the Joker, that goes Lane Vakela. That's a sensible move as well. But yeah, he's used to side-by-sides.
But I'll tell you what. Oh, McGinnis strikes back. Look at this. Woo, they get into each other. Roosting him says, okay, anything you can do, I'll give it right back, bro.
I think Holker's broken his steering, unfortunately. I think...
Yeah, sorry. What I was going to say there is Holker might be used to side-by-sides, and these vehicles can take a licking, but not all the time.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
So it's about what the contact is, Jared. And if it's steering, unfortunately, is not a weak point, but it's the most likely point to break on any of the rallycross cars, supercars or not. They're designed to take these incredible impacts up through the suspension. You start hitting it from the side. It's not designed for that. Rubber on rubber, you can start pulling bits off the car.
And remember how exciting Utah was? Next car was absolutely bonkers. There's Holker pulling off, so he unfortunately will be going to the semis, not straight to the final.
Lane Vakela's just made up 6/10 on McGinnis on this lap. Now Vakela, to be fair, has not had the pace this year. He came across to RallyX Nordic and he's learning still.
Yep.
We did a couple of rounds of the World Championship support category as well, but he's eating McGuinness alive at the minute. The gap's coming visual now. Michaela's joking and McGuinness has it. This could be brilliant by Lane, and maybe we're seeing at the form, you know, he's finally got used to the car.
Yep, yeah, McGuinness, he's really crawling through turn 2. You can see Michaela, he's coming in and sliding the car around.
Is McGuinness carrying damage from the contact with Holker as well? So if he's got just a little bit of damage and it's put something out of alignment, he could be struggling with traction, turning. There could be lots of things wrong. That's not to take it. This is a great opportunity for Michaela. He needs to focus. And in fact, McGuinness has taken 4/10 back off him and he's run wide. So yeah.
Yeah, he's getting into that curtain there. You can see, as you said, the hard pack versus the loose stuff. The loose stuff, interesting approach earlier with Carlson. He got into the, let's call it the dirt bank, right? So that high-low turnover there, and I liked your analogy of utilizing a snowbank to kind of slow it down. Carlson did that earlier. Haven't seen any of the next cars do it just yet, but Carlson, he's racing in Supercar. So here we go. It looks like the final lap. So we will see McGuinness hit that Yokohama Tire Joker lap as Michaela trying to gain some more ground.
Wide again.
Yeah.
So he's wide again, and just those little mistakes, unfortunately, have given McGuinness back the gap. So if George is carrying a problem, or, you know, Lane might have done an absolutely killer lap. What he needs to do now is go back and look at the data and go, look, this lap I killed it. You know, I caught up with the guy who won last weekend.
Right.
And see where the mistakes are coming on the other stuff. That's what you've got to focus on if you want to try and get yourself to the point where you're not making little mistakes. And McGuinness, let's not forget, he's a super novice. He did one race in Nordic, 2 races last weekend in Nitro, and he won one of those. So, you know, he's 16 years old.
Yeah, total class act. His dad showed up for his first race, and it looks like 3.5 seconds. No way. I mean, no way.
We reckon 2.5 in the last one. Let's see what it is when they cross the line. He's taken 3/10 off him, so Michaela's done a good job on this sector now. McGuinness coming in. See what the gap is when they merge.
Oh, we got a fight here. And look at that, McGuinness and Michaela. McGuinness barely holds on to it. I love that the Joker lap is right there at the finish. Make some noise, ERX, yes.
There is a big grey cloud coming in, and I don't want to say the magic word. Let's call it a shadow. Let's not call it anything else. It's just a little bit dark. There's nothing to worry about.
No,
nothing to see here.
Everything's fine, Coley.
He was close.
You keep your weather back in England, okay?
Yeah, I'll take it.
You don't bring that weather here.
Don't worry, America. I'm going home on Monday. It's already raining.
I'm going to text you and be like, man, the weather is absolutely brilliant.
How is it in the UK? Terrible.
And here's how it started. It was an exciting one. And again, this is just a heat. The winner advances to the finals, and all 7 are going to be in. Fellas, keep it together.
I was just about to say they hit each other, they hit the wall. It wasn't the greatest of starts. He's certainly not going to win at that point. McGuinness goes defensive here. He's on a greener part of the track, and you can see Holker immediately went out wide. He was going to try the over-under, but McGuinness actually got a bit sideways on the brakes, and there wasn't the room to do it.
Yeah, McGuinness had some real moments of brilliance, but look at that, nosing down. That's when they get into each other. Talking about Holker and McGuinness, and then McGuinness said, "Okay, you know what? I can push back too, man. Mosh pit. Here we go, bro."
Got a good angle on it this time. So watch McGuinness on the inside here. Goes in super hot and lands, but I think the front right steering arm there is broken on Holker's car, so he knows that he can't do anything with it. And unfortunately, he's out. I'm interested in the stewards say anything. I don't think they will there. It looks pretty cool. But this was close. It was 3.1 when McGuinness went in. Michaela on the inside line. And, Jared, you could use that now. If you saw the car on your right, run them out to the wall. Don't put them in the wall, but give a big squeeze on them, and then we're going to see a race to the line. If you're on it, you'll cut back from the Joker and go left. Watch for the Supercar drivers doing that.
And we know how terrible we are at math after Utah.
Oh,
but what I will tell you is that gap, the 3.1 seconds, if it was 3-second gap, I think Michaela would have got him.
Yeah.
So as it is, as the track sits right now, it's transforming. I think that's a 3-second Joker lap in addition to your lap time, right?
I think you're about right. I think
I
think the trouble is, I reckon it's going to change literally on every run. So, yeah, a consistent gap is going to be hard to find.
And mind you, you know that inside that Joker lap, that's going to get more matted down as well. So yeah, it's going to change. So 2.5 to 3 seconds. I'm
wondering if any roofs will run up the wall on the exit of the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
So could you then start to use the K-rail and lean against the berm on the exit and get a slightly better exit from there? Race Control are looking at the contact. So they're looking at this contact first of all, which was Holker into McGuinness. And then McGuinness comes back at him. Where's that? That's the top of the hill, I think. So, yeah, this is for... Yeah, so look at McGuinness's line here. He's already lining him up for the exit. Look at the pace he carries through the apex. Holker is sideways. Here's another look at it on the way in. I mean,
I mean, he took
I'm
that,
not
he
totally
took that
against
inside,
it.
No, I'm not against it. And, you know, also you got to look at McGuinness coming down and hitting Holker as well.
The question they'll ask is, would Holker have made that hairpin if McGuinness was not outside him? So if they think he's coming in here at the speed where I also think he was actually hampered a bit by the bank. To be fair to Holker on the inside, he clips the grass bank and that pushes the nose out wide. And then this was McGuinness coming back at him.
Yeah, overall, I think it's kind of tit for tat. You know, you had that incident there, and then as far as you know, they went back and forth. It's a bit of a boxing match, but McGuinness came out on top. I think Holker, you know, his debut, didn't really know. You know, like you said, side by sides. They can't take a hit either. I mean, you get wheel to wheel because it's open wheel. So overall, I think just let it lie.
Well, the stewards are here, basically. Well, this is the fun part about today's announcing booth, is that what you guys haven't seen is the constant stream of people that are going through the back of this room. Like, it's quite deep here.
Yeah.
We were going to put this up and make a corridor behind, but that hasn't worked out. So basically, if there are any arguments at all, we're going to know about it first, because they've got to walk through here to get to the stewards who are in there. So, it's good fun.
It is. So here are the final results. McGuinness gets a P1 in that heat. Lane Vakela and John Holker, he had to DNF there for Holker, but we'll see him again in those semis, and then final LCQ. All 7 vehicles will make it as long as they're running, and each independent round. But we're talking about, we go next car, but look at this. We're going side by side. I'll throw it down to Katie.
One of the lucky guys running double duty this weekend is Tanner Foust. First, putting a helmet on behind the one wheel, and then another. How challenging is that?
Oh, it's super fun. I mean, it's 10 times on the track. I'm just running around with gloves and a Hans device, like 110 to the next. But yeah, running the Polaris Razor with the side-by-sides, which Travis put together, kind of an invitational. It's super cool. Got Brian Deegan out here racing with Travis. I mean, anytime those two get together, it's awesome. And then if I get to get in the mix, then Andrew Carlson, of course, it's his track, so it's awesome to drive with him. So anyway, it's been great in the Polarises, and then jumping back into the dry Reinbold Audi is at first it was a challenge, but now it's like literally Graham says at the spotter, he just says, okay, Rallycross time, and then when we get in the Polaris, he's like, okay, Polaris time, remember, just jump it big. And yeah, it's really fun though.
In talking with Brian earlier, he was stoked that you were lining up with him. I mean, people talk about that rivalry, but you add you into the mix. How much fun is it?
It's, Brian and I were teammates for a long time in Rallycross. And, I remember Haley running around just getting started in trophy kart racing. I mean, she was super young. And I've been following all of his kids' careers are just going crazy, and it has a lot to do with him, of course. So he's been such a good driving force, and I think he's a good role model as a father, and so I've loved watching that. But yeah, then to line up with him is great, and see him and Travis kind of throwing blows and having a good time. It's great. Once you put the helmet on, it's not so chuckly. Everybody gets after it, but it does make it fun as an additional thing to do this weekend to have all of us in one place.
Okay, now take you to the track with the Supercar. You were learning the Audi last weekend in round 1. How comfortable are you now?
I'm pretty comfortable with the car. We're a little down on laps at this track. There has been some testing out here, but I thought we were getting up to speed until we went into that last little practice session and really off the pace. And it really just comes down to 1 or 2 corners. There's a couple blind corners that you just have to know what's on the other side of the corner and commit to it without seeing it. And it's just more important in these cars than it is in the Razors. So that's something I just have to push the reset button as we go into the battles. I do think that we're a little struggling on grip. The more slippery it gets, I think the more disadvantage we have. So we're hoping that these clouds are not as ominous as they look. And yeah, so we'd like to get some grip out there and show what these cars can do. All
right. Best of luck out there. As Tanner is running and gunning, we'll let him go back to it, guys.
Thank you so much, Katie. Yeah, just doing that double duty is always a blast. And earlier, you could see here in the starting grid, unfortunately, Travis will not be joining us. Travis went into the wall earlier when we had some practice early on in the day, but the rest of the grid should be exciting nonetheless. So as we are seeing them here, we got Andy Ives, Mia Chapman, Corey Weller, and looks like Brian Deegan bringing up the rear in that 38 Can-Am. So 4 vehicles here. What's at stake as we go ahead and send it for our first side-by-side race here at Nitro Rallycross.
Deegan's gone super wide in the background, was looking, I think, to get the undercut on the exit. There he is, coming up over the jump, closing down, going to go out wide now. Watch for Deegan. He's got good experience in these. Could go up to P2 here. Going to try and slot back in, see if he can take the lead on the exit. I reckon he'll still hold second. Interesting. They've all gone for the option line. Jared, the outside line that Deegan's on is much cleaner from the previous runners. They've got enough place to hold him off, though. Deegan's surely going to shut the door here. Does he go inside or he goes high? He goes inside, so now Deegan's gone the opposite way to them. Now he's got the inside. Coming up to the jump side by side. Deegan's going to surely air this out. Well on P2, really good.
Executed by Deegan, getting the clean air, taking the option that says, nah, you guys go that way, I'm going to go this way. Ives is still out front. You can see 0.3 second different here. Deegan chomping at the bit, goes for the Yokohama Joker.
Yeah, got straight in, and he almost, look at the grip they've got compared to the other cars. He is just bit in really hard, holds on to P2, Jared, goes in P2, comes straight out. Now he's going to chase down Ives as hard as he can. Deegan's on a big charge here.
I got to tell you, Deegan is taking the road less traveled. You know, he took that high, went low, took the Joker lap. Deegan does things his Deegan way, you know, and that's obviously proven successful for him over the years. But I'll tell you that Ives is pulling away. Deegan goes for that outside line.
Yeah, he's gone outside again. So what you got to do with this, if you're looking at the racing line on a pavement circuit, it's always about where's the next straight and how do I carry the most pace onto it. Here, it's kind of like, you know, where's the most grip? Where do I want to be on the inside? You know, tactically, you can choose the high line, the low line, the left or the right to make sure you're inside or outside of the jump. And he used that to great effect on the first lap. I'm kind of keen to see him race it out with Ives. I don't know that Ives will go joking out. It's only 1.5. He's going to need a bigger gap to hold him off. And does. And yeah.
Okay, so look at that. Deegan goes for the pass. And look at that. Deegan getting that Yokohama Joker lap early has paid off for him. I will tell you, taking the words out of my mouth, basically, we're talking about Pastrana going to that wall. Deegan did as well. So
yeah.
he is very capable of overcooking it and getting into a tussle with the wall, and the wall always wins.
Liking that, just a slight sideways kick over the top of the jump there. Look at him backing it in from the outside. Every inch of the track, and actually, Jared, these guys are really helping us out. They won't realise that. They're widening up the line big time. The reason for that is they don't run the rallycross tyre. They're running much more of a kind of a mud dirt tyre, which would be suitable to drive in the forest, in the desert, all the rest of it. And they're widening up the course. So this is good for me.
So Brian Deegan currently leads the pack. We're on lap 3 of 4. And what's at stake here, Coley? Who advances? What's next for the side-by-sides?
We're in semi-finals, so it's either 1 or 2 cars going through. I forget with side-by-sides, and then the rest of them will go through to LCQs. We've actually got 4 cars through already, including a couple of the favourites, Kyle Chenet and Scotty Lawrence as well. I spoke to Scotty yesterday. He's running a bunch of the Can-Ams. He's running Travis's car. He's running Katie Munning's car as well. He was talking me through the spec because I'm a bit of a geek, and these cars were fully, you know, I've seen them a bunch of times, but I was like, I need to look at this. Show me stuff. Show me technical stuff.
Oh, I know you love this stuff. Well, Deegan is making it look really easy. Just right out of the gate, you know, sitting second, but then took again that road less traveled.
He's got option line this time, and that's almost like, you know what, I'm going to check out the grip because I know I'm far enough up road. Here you can see a car either side. Where the dirt's covering the grass there, I think it's hard for you guys at home to see. Look at this, again, switching on. There's another bank. It's covered in dirt, so you actually can't see. That's what Jared was talking about earlier. Andrew Carlson using that bank like a snowbank to try and keep on the line. So, yeah, the track's coming in. This is cool.
This is really coming together, and like you said, this is great prep for the other, you know, between Next and Supercars, the way the track is transformed. So one more turn and jump. There we go. Brian Deegan gets the victory and will advance on to the finals.
These are a lot of fun, and they are great value. They really are for us in terms of racing, but for the drivers too, in terms of getting the budget together to do this. Great to have their sponsors along and see some fantastic racing.
All right, so Brian Deegan will get that victory, and we have another side-by-side race coming up next. But let's take a look at some highlights. And it looked like Ives was going to take it, but Brian Deegan took a different approach all the way through that first lap, which ended up paying off and getting that victory. Taking the wide line, as you can see the other 3 racers taking the shallower line. But Deegan utilizing the Joker lap on the first lap, and that really ended up paying off.
It just looked great, didn't he? Right off the start, he looked racy. He went an alternate line into turn 1, just went high-low, and then this was the thing that was really bold. You've made 2 passes. Some drivers would have gone, oh, I don't want to drop back now because I'm going to drop behind the slow drivers again. Deegan's gone, I'm going in now, and I'm just going to come straight back past. He holds on to P2, and at this point, really, it was his to lose.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun there. But so there's Ives going into that Joker lap, and this was the moment where, as you say, it did not pay off for Ives, but Deegan Makes it all the way through.
Looking at it, we've got two. So we've already got Kyle Cheney, Scotty Lawrence, Tanner Foust, Andrew Castle went through from the heats. So it's 2 cars per race. So Deegan and Ives should go through from this one, and that leaves us with 7 cars remaining fighting it out for those positions in the final later on. So another semi-final, an LCQ with O'Reilly's Auto Parts to come for these guys as well, and then on to the final later on today.
All right, just wrapping this up, putting a bow on it there for Deegan. We'll be getting our next heat. There's a checkered flag. Nice job.
Squash the jump on the way up there like that. You just see the front of the car dip, release it, and you get the extra energy from the shocks pushing you up high.
So you see Deegan and Ives, they will be moving on. Weller and Chapman will be going to the LCQ. That stands for Last Chance Qualifier. Getting set for our next semifinal, race 2. ERX filling up more and more as the clock ticks on. 10 seconds, we got a race. Here's our starting grid. Jack Letourneau, Jason Lebeur, Tyler Remerid, and Katie Munnings.
Seen a couple of good starts from that second row. Katie gets nice traction off the line, but on the inside on the front row, holding on.
Looks like Jack Letourneau gets the jump and is out front.
Look at the alternate lines they can run, Jared. Again, they're over both sides, right over both sides of the road, looking for a way through. Katie trying to find a way through from P3. So she's a regular in Extreme E. If you guys aren't used to that, that's into the electric off-road series, which is new this year. And her teammate is Timmy Hansen. She runs with Andretti United, which is partly owned by the Andretti. So it's
Andretti.
Yeah, you may have heard of him over here. And so yeah, big experience for her needed. She's always looking to get quicker. She came and did a Rally X Nordic race earlier on this year in the buggy category, which is similar to Sierra cars that we saw last week in Utah. And Travis texted her, and she got in touch with me straight away, and she said, I've had a text from Travis to come to Nitro Rallycross. She said, is this a good idea or a bad idea? Literally, I was like, it's a good idea. Come to Nitro Rallycross. So she's here, and it's good to see.
Yep. All right, so Lebeur out front, and I'll tell you what, I have not heard that throttle lift at all. I mean, they're absolutely just zip-tying the gas pedal down and going for it.
Yeah, they're 900cc turbocharged. They run like a belt drive system. They don't have a clutch. They don't have a transmission as well. They don't have gears. So they have a constantly variable transmission, which is why you kind of hear the revs stay pretty similar, but the car is getting quicker as they're going along. Munnings now on the outside line. I think it's Letourneau that she's in a battle with, although Letourneau was Joe Good already. So Letourneau going to try and close down on Leberg. 3 point. What's the gap for Katie back to the leader? 2.7, is it?
2.7 from the lead.
Yeah, so Katie could be looking to go through with Letourneau. We saw about 3 seconds, Jared, in the previous race. It was 1.5 in and it was 1.5 the other way out. And still the leader doesn't joke. So Leberg is holding on out front, and the 2 behind now have really just got to keep pushing to try and close that gap down.
Letourneau now 2.5 seconds behind Leberg.
Leberg, I think, is in what we would call a single-seater, Jared. You know, where the cockpit is more in the middle of the car. Most of the drivers they're called side-by-side because you can sit with someone next to you in these machines side-by-side. So they only run a single seat when they're racing. They actually blank off the whole other side of the car.
And you can see Munnings using all the force, getting out wide to the wall. But the number 7, Leberg, when are they going to hit? Jason going to hit the Joker lap.
Could go this time, could go next time. At 2.3 back. I think he's edged and maybe going... No, he's losing time. So potentially not into the Joker this time then. So this may well be to defend, but have they left it too late? Oh, it's going to be almost... No, just holds on. So 2.1 was enough.
Yeah, I am very surprised at that. So, but you got some good racing.
Said it was going to change, didn't we? There's just that lap by lap thing. Now imagine trying to be a spotter. So we're sitting up here, we've got a timing screen, we're seeing a bunch of races. They're only seeing their own drivers racing. They're desperately trying to figure out the tactics. It's actually really hard work for them.
Oh, diving in. Look at that. Goes for the pass and gets it. Nice job by Letourneau.
And now they're on the alternate lines. Yeah, so it's so hard to figure out exactly what's going to happen. Will they cross over again? You're inside, outside. I love it. Absolutely
here we
love
go.
it.
High-low, which is the quicker line. A lot of shaking up down the lower line, but you're going to carry some momentum taking the higher line.
Oh mate, grit my teeth as they're coming up to the crest. I thought we were going to see, contact in the air, which is the ultimate. There is, once you've launched, there is nothing you can do to change direction. You can change the angle, but if you're going to hit each other in the air,
Here we go, our final lap, our final turn. Here we go. Letourneau takes that pass and comes up with the checker. Letourneau, Leberg, 1 and 2. Well done. Look at that. The best lap for Letourneau was the final lap.
Yeah, brilliant. So they're going through.
That was a great execution there by Letourneau, just chomping at the bit. And then when we saw Leberg come out, and Letourneau was right there, and that was the moment that he seized it. Let's take a look at it again here. So going to that Joker lap, and we're talking about 2.1 seconds. That it was up to 3 seconds we thought previously, but now it's down to like 2.21.
I'm sure these cars are able to carry more speed through the Joker lap than the NRX Next and the Nitro cars are, and that will be the type of Yokohama tire that they're using. So these guys are using an off-road tire.
Yep.
The Rallycross tire is much more of a molded slick, and so that that will work places where it goes hard. But when it goes hard pack, you'll see it go back the other way towards the Rallycross tire. But at the moment, look how quick they are in here. Look, just pitch it in, and it's got the grip. And that's what I'm talking about the berm as well, Jared. People are starting to be able to run it up the wall. That inside line, you've got to be slightly further in front to shut the door on them. Good driving there, leaving enough room for each other. You don't want to put both cars in the wall. That's just a waste of time and money.
Yeah, very, very well done. And this is how it culminated, as we saw Letourneau taking that lead and Leberg there in tow. But a great execution there, and I'm really eager to see, obviously, the side-by-side final.
I'm eager to do some laps, Jared. I'm starting to get itchy feet here.
Oh, yeah?
Does it not look like a lot of fun to you?
It looks like a blast, but again, you were given the keys to Sierra cars and you broke them, so you can't do that anymore. So top 3 to the final, actually. Jack Letourneau, Jason Leberg, and look, Katie Munnings making it to the final there, as Tyler Remerid will have to go at it again in the LCQ. But congratulations to those top 3 going to the O'Reilly Auto Parts LCQ. All right, as ERX round 2 Nitro Rallycross. Some great racing here side by side. When we come back, we got some more battles out here on this just shy of mile track. Semifinals when we return here to Nitro Rallycross here at ERX.
In 2018, Nitro Rallycross took the racing world by storm with the biggest jumps, the best drivers, and the most intense action ever. In 2021, Nitro Rallycross is expanding with 5 epic races. From the mountains to the Great Lakes, the desert, and the Sunshine State, Nitro Rallycross is coming to a racetrack near you. Nitro Rallycross, the series, revving up and taking off this September.
Out here with Brian Deegan after qualifying, that wasn't the greatest showing in the whole world, but you know what? It was good. You looked good out there until you didn't.
Thank you. That's all that matters. Just want to look good, bro. So I know the track bit me. I was trying super hard. Foust got the jump on me. I was trying to track him down and put a wheel on him, and I went out, bicycled, got on 2 wheels and tried to save it, clipped the wall, and broke the wheel. And I broke the trailing arm, and I got pulled off. And all I could think is Travis. Travis is watching me right now, and we got a bet going, right?
Yeah. So, I heard about the $1.
Okay, $1 bet. Whoever finishes ahead of who. And it's getting tense, dude. It's getting super tense.
Well, I got some really good news for you. Trav also went off.
But yes.
Dude.
No, did it really happen?
No joke, dude. You're sitting in the same spot. So your $1 is not safe, but you're even now.
Feeling good. We're battled for last. I get it. No, this is serious stuff, dude. Serious business. And do not want to pay him $1 today, so.
I'm personally super stoked to see you guys battling it out from the X Games days, and now it's continued into Nitro Rallycross. How do you feel about this series?
Nitro Rallycross, I'm stoked to see this go down. It's a lot of good cars. It's cool to see the side-by-sides, the Rallycross. The crew everyone's real competitive here, and the crowd's showing up. It's just good for the sport, and it's really just good for all the people to get out and have some fun. And I think this is a killer event. That's why I had to come, show up, get in my Can-Am, and rip around and bet some money on Travis.
Yeah, man, I love to see it, man. Thank you for the time. Back to you guys.
Yeah. Hey, Street Bike Tommy in the building. If you don't know who Street Bike Tommy is, just you haven't seen Nitro Circus. You haven't seen Nitro anything because Tommy's part of the crew, that is. But this is the moment earlier. Deegan went in, and he hit pretty hard, hit pretty good, but it's fixed. He's back out there, and obviously, that was earlier in practice. So, having some words after that, so put that to tape and said, all right. And then he proved everybody wrong, and he says, right now, Travis isn't running. So Deegan's looking pretty.
They both hit the same bit of wall as well, Jared.
Yeah.
It was the same corner. It wasn't different corners and different mistakes. Same mistake, came in a bit hot, and off they went.
All right, so next we are seeing a Next car. This is the Next LCQ, and we are seeing a variety of vehicles here, and we're taking a look. Again, the Next car semifinal here, and we are seeing Sage Karam, Lance Vakela, John Holker, Casper Janssen, and Eric Gordon here in the semifinal. And we are hearing that John Holker did not make it to the line. Remember, he broke.
Yeah, it was in the contact with McGuinness. So we just saw George McGuinness coming down from the spotters tower. Actually, George is up there now watching. I think he's out the window watching this race. Lane Michaela with a great start outside Sage Karam. Karambo's got the inside line to say, and Lane Michaela's going to get out in the dirt if he's not careful. Casper Janssen's right there with them now. He's to the inside line. Lane Michaela is looking a lot racy here this weekend. Yeah. Going to be brave if he goes on the brakes here, Jared. It is looking less green, though. Look, the grip levels are looking pretty similar. We're going to see some moves soon. Oh, Casper Janssen gets in the door all the way up over the grass on the inside line, but still third.
Sage Karam threw a bit of a roadblock there. Just put, his thumb in the dikes, and he stopped the flow.
This is what we talked about last week. Remember I said a couple of times, park it on the apex. If you park it, there's nothing anybody can do. And if Travis ran wide in the final last week, you remember, and let Timmy through, and you just park it. You might get a hit from behind, but if you keep that door shut, there's nothing they can do to get through. And Sage, he comes from a circuit racing background. He knows how to do that all day long. You've only got to do it on lap 1. After that, you can start to push.
And I always like what you say in regards to, they can take this hit up and down, but left and right, definitely not. You want to protect the critical portions of the vehicle, the suspension, the corners. As Sage, looking really good. It's the best I've seen him from even last weekend to right now. But again, keep in mind that 36 there, that's of Casper Janssen. He is real nose heavy, so hopefully he can keep it together. He was the one airing it out all the way to the 199 in his next car.
Yeah, Janssen, Jared was pointing out the last one, just nosing a couple of jumps. We didn't feel he was taking quite enough pace into them. You see the FPV drone flying down that back straight with the alternate line as well. There's Sage Karam going up high, and Lane Michaela going with him. Was Michaela running a white bumper on the car? I think he was from the angle we were looking at. That's because yesterday he literally nose-wheeled the car down that hill. He came. I thought he was going over over end. He's not actually. It's just the decals. But yeah, that's often the sign with the guys in NRX Next. If they've had to put panels on, they haven't had time time to wrap them. It's just like a bright white panel, like a badge of honor. Yes, I smashed this off in the last race.
Right. All right, so Sage Karam continues on, but are 1 and 2. Neither of them have hit the Joker lap, and there's Michaela getting a lot of air underneath them. And there goes Sage. He's parking. That's not when you want to park, because that just gave Michaela a little jump on him.
I would have thought, I would have expected to see Sage Graham driving away a little bit. Casper Janssen's Jokers, we need to keep an eye on the gap between Janssen and the guys out front. At the minute it was 3.7. 4.0 now, so yeah, it's gone up a little bit. That's probably, certainly Karam is safe. I don't think Michaela is right now. Although, Jared, we're really not quite sure on the Joker, because obviously the side-by-sides, we know we're doing it in 2 seconds. Yep. These cars are not so hot. And now, okay, so Michaela knows it's tight, maybe he's losing time, goes in. More grip than I thought in there, even for them.
Yeah, you saw him even throw it in there, so it, getting some angle at it, but then it didn't shoot out, which is a sign of a getting some traction.
Just holds on as well, so you're seeing the leader, but behind the leader is a lot of pressure coming for Lane Michaela from Janssen. We're looking at Karam, but yeah, Janssen all over the back of Lane Michaela.
And yeah, with that, oh, look at that. Here we go. So Michaela and Janssen getting after it.
So Janssen maybe, Janssen took the alternate line there. Okay, come on, let's see if we can make this stick or not. It was green earlier, Janssen sideways on the inside. No, there isn't enough pace on the alternate line just yet. Now he goes up high, but Casper Janssen looking to try and get past Lane Michaela. Michaela, though, holding on. Michaela, this is a definite increase in pace from Michaela. He messaged me yesterday. The stuff was posted on Instagram. I've got one of the guys up there to share it to Insta, this incredible jump that he did. And he messaged me, he said, I may need to wind it back a little bit tomorrow, which is about on the money, I think.
And here is Sage Karam, grabs the victory, and headed on into the finals. Michaela sitting second, Janssen and Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon just making it into that final turn. Hit that Joker lap earlier in the race, so 4 laps are down and completed with all 4 drivers. Sage takes it to the top. That Wix Filters, Dreyer Reinbold vehicle.
Good drive. We're seeing a constant stream of spotters heading up the stairs next to us. The Supercar spotters are starting to head up there. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact up in the second corner, turn 2, the hairpin up at the far end. And then this was Lane Michaela going Joker. We'll say just a bit more grip, but look at the berm up the outside again, and he runs the rear wheel almost. Yeah, he stays out the wall, but there's definitely you can run a little bit up there, not too much.
And notably, it's cool. We're in our announcers booth, and the spotters are a critical portion and a critical contribution to the race efforts here. Notably, you get some drivers up there that former driver, like Buddy Rice, Indy 500 winner, is Michaela's spotter. So getting in his ear, telling him what to do, and it's, again, a critical portion of racing. All right, so that was our NRX Next semifinal. I believe next we should be seeing our Supercar battle brackets.
I was wondering about that. We're seeing Supercar drivers on the stairs next to us, and I'm wanting to grab them. So I'm going to see. We'll see how long we've got before the battles are going to get underway.
And there are semifinals: Sage Karam, Lance Michaela, Casper Janssen, and Eric Gordon. 1 through 4. And yeah, we should be seeing our battle brackets shortly here.
I'll be back, Jared.
Okay, you do that, bud. Andrew Coley having some words with some of our drivers as we're seeing Travis Pastrana out here on track. All right, hey, as we keep things going down here, let's throw it down the street by Tommy. Tommy, where are you at?
I'm down here. Okay, I can hear myself. This is awesome. I'm live. I'm at NRX. I have unprecedented access. I'm here at the biggest jump at this track. Carlson's, you guys have an amazing event, amazing track. Here comes Trav. You are 50 feet off the ground at this first marker. He's going to come around here on this big jump. Look, 50 feet, lands at about 110, 120 feet. Big stuff. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but it's not good for front bumpers if you go a little deep. If he lands over there by his number down there at 199, Not a pretty day, but butter smooth around 110. My man's got it.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Tommy's having a blast. He's like, whoa, I'm live. We're doing it live. Yeah, that's what we're doing. As we are up here in the booth, Travis and his 199 Subaru, we are getting set for our battle brackets. And you were wondering...
I've been out mugging people on the stairs, basically,
yeah.
Garrett. I've just realised everybody's going up and down the stairs. This is too good an opportunity to miss. So we've got Ollie Eriksson with us. So he's come to talk to us about, hopefully, what he's seeing here. Ollie, good to have you up in the announcers box with us. How's your day going, first of all? There we go. Just need to fade our guest up, actually. Sorry.
It was kind of tricky for us first runs out. We didn't quite get any grip. The clay here kind of gets wet and slippery.
It looks good
like
though
really
now.
No,
that's old news. That's old news. Right
old news.
Now, how excited are you race?
Yeah, the track is awesome. All the elevation, everything that's going on, you're just sending it everywhere, and it's a blast. So we see how it is with two supercars together now.
Who have you got in the battle?
I got Doran for the first round.
Okay, how do you fancy that? Honestly, you know Liam's good in slippery conditions, as are you. That's not an easy one, is it necessarily?
No, for sure. I don't think any battles are easy here. It's an awesome field out there. So every lap is a battle, and just try to beat him to it.
Every lap's a battle. That's exactly what we've got coming up. You think we'd have paid him. Now, what about this? Was the section where earlier on for you, Ollie, it nearly went wrong. So talk us through it. What happened?
Nearly went wrong. It went real wrong.
Well, nearly. It could have been worse.
Yeah. It was my fast lap. I did a really good first sector. I got that from my spotter, and I just sent it into the left-hander there. And I think I hit a rot or something because the whole front just moved on me. Then tried to save it on a big slide, but the berm was there, and I took it for a spin.
It looked to me like you actually gripped up, which I thought was a sign of a good thing. It's so slick. It seemed that when you threw it out there, the back end actually kind of shy you into the berm. I don't know. I mean, again, that's just all progressing as far as the track drying up.
Yeah, for sure. It kind of went wrong early, so I hit something that went me on a big slide, and then the slide was just too much to save for the berm there. So that was it.
So Pastrana's run is complete. If you missed earlier on, Travis was fastest in the previous session, which puts us in the seeding for the bracket, if you like. So as the top seed, if we had 16 cars, everybody would have a battle. Last week we had 14, so the top 2 drivers got a bye. But there's actually a new teammate here for Ollie Eriksson as well at OMSE. This week we've got 15 cars with track owner's son, Andrew Carlson, racing with those guys. So only Travis got a bye. Still good for him. In fact, KT caught up with Andrew Carlson, we're hearing. So let's check that out.
As Andrew Carlson is getting belted in, it was nice that his team was actually cleaning off his shoes. They want this car to come back clean and in one piece. Andrew, expectations as this is the first time you're climbing into a supercar for battle?
I feel awesome in that last run. I think we had some good speed for everybody. I think we're going to go out and win.
Now, you were telling me earlier that you're getting comfortable in this car as, you've never actually raced a car before.
Yeah, so I mean, it's similar enough to four-wheel drive, four-wheel spinning, a lot of power, so we'll figure it out.
And last but not least, as it relates to kind of being the person behind this track, you and your family have poured in a lot of love and time into it. How great is it to see these cars out running and seeing it come to fruition?
Oh, it's awesome. I love racing out here. It's just, it's a fun track to drive, so it's cool to get to do it in a different vehicle and see what I can do.
All right, best of luck out there. Yeah, it's so interesting. He's been racing trucks for so long around this track, but this is the first time he's actually racing a car, guys.
That's interesting. So I got to ask you, Ollie. He's kind of got a competitive advantage. He's got a lot of time, more than anybody, probably everybody combined on this track.
Yeah, for sure. He built the track himself, so of course that's an advantage. But his first time in the car. Super impressed with what he's done. We we try to learn from him, see how the track develops, and it's great to have him in.
And you're familiar with that car that he's racing as well.
Yeah, for sure. I did a couple of years in it. Super quick car. It's a bit bigger than the rest, so it's about how to handle the rear, and he's doing it great. So.
All right, Robin Larsson, and we just talked to him, Andrew Carlson. Larsson and Carlson. Here we go. This is our first actual battle round here, Heat 2.
So that's advantage Larsson, not something I wouldn't have expected. Larsson's done hundreds of starts in these cars. Carlson knows already, having a look up the inside on the run to the hairpin. But that's probably not going to be the place for it on this lap. Gets it nice and sideways early on, gets in the door. Larsson gasses it up and trying it away. Carlson goes alternate lap. Jared, that didn't work out last time we saw it. It was a little bit more slippery in there. So
yeah.
Got to get the launch right.
Looking really loose. He is all over the place right now. Larsson keeping a bit more tidy, but what's that?
Ollie's face said it all. There's that slight, you know how hard these cars are to start. Getting the launch right is something Andrew's still going to learn.
Yeah, especially here, you know, it's an uphill start and we don't get the clean tires, so yeah, it's very different to what we're used to as well, so it's about getting the first grip.
So look at this, we're seeing Carlson take the Joker lap here as the Yokohama tires go around, and you have to think that Carlson in his mind, he's like, this is the slipperiest I've ever been on this course before. It normally has big, beefy truck tires, but I'll tell you what, look at his set. Oh! And Carlson saves it from the wall, as right now, off camera, Larsson, he's got the clean air, but Carlson almost took it to the wall where we saw Travis go in, we saw Deegan go in, and that is a place of contention. We'll get there, and there we go. So he saved it from actually just wadding into the wall. He came off and whipped the thing in the air, did kind of the finish flick, and ended up not paying off for him. So it looks like Larsson will be getting the win.
Yeah, so you'd be on the radio now to Robin and just saying, let's take your Joker, just chill, you're golden. You know, Carlson's got off. At the point he laps him, he could probably sack it now, to be honest, because Carlson, I don't think is going to come out. He's not fully in the wall, Ollie. It doesn't look like the car's damaged, does it? But
no, it's off. It's off quite a bit.
He's buried in the dirt tidily on the outside. Larsson does Joker on this one. Got another lap to go. So, Ollie, when you were coming upstairs, I know we mugged you on the way in and grabbed you to come in here and announce with us, but what are you guys, you're heading up to the roof, tell us what you're looking for. So you're coming out, obviously your run isn't for a couple of races time. What are you looking for out there?
Yeah, I would be in the last battle in the first round, so I want to see how they race out there, you know. It's a quick run into turn 2, and turn 1, and turn 2 it's a hairpin, so I want to see what different lines they take. I'm starting on the inside, so I want to see how they protect and what to look out for.
Right, so it's about racing position on up into turn 2. What are grip levels on the braking zone, whether it moves on?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think the track kind of stayed since the sort of qualifying thing we did. So it's mostly just how they race and see, obviously, how wide the grip line develops.
Do you like all the different alternate lines, like the kind of the high-low over here in turn 3 and turn 2? You talked about that berm, and then of course the Joker lap. We're seeing times about 3 seconds in addition on supercars. It's down to 2 seconds in side-by-sides, but there's so many different lines. And like you said, do you have a preferred in your head right now, or you're really just kind of scoping it all out?
Yeah, I have a preferred. You know, it all depends on how the grip goes. We see a lot of guys taking the outside line, so that grip has developed quicker. That's what we're looking for mostly. So yeah, we see whoever takes the inside line, see if it's quick enough.
Yep. So talk us through this, Ollie.
Yeah, we see Robin, you know, defends early inside. Andrew taking a bigger line, try to cut him in, but you know, Robin is pretty. He knows what to do and just kept it tight.
And then Andrew goes for the alternate line, but we can see there that the rear tags the fence, to the barrier, so he comes around. Look how deep the loose is on the outside.
The front left's
gone.
Yeah, both.
The wheel broke. Both left.
Oh, yeah, the rear left as well.
They both snapped. So when he came down, he was off camber, and the front left, both left wheels actually snapped. So you can't keep it running.
It's hard to say that.
That's not ideal, is it? There we go. There we go. Let's see if we can get Ollie in here. We're going to try and all squeeze in. There's a limit to how far we can make space in here. We're looking at Andrew Carlson get recovered. That's where we're at the bracket at the moment. So Pastrana with a bye, Robin Larsson kind of with a bye after Andrew Carlson ran a little bit deep. So we've got Pastrana and Larsson coming up in this in round 2, but a bunch more to go in round 1 first of all.
All right, so up next, we got one Eriksson here in the building, but we got another one out on track. How do you think he's going to do? I mean, hey, I got to say it. Your brother shouted out Scott Speed. It looks like there was a loss of love last weekend in Utah. Have they kissed and made up, or they're just going to do it all the way till Miami?
I don't know. I think they will keep going to Miami.
Sweet. You know. Let's go. Makes our jobs easier.
Yeah, actually, Kevin was quite calm, you know, after. But when... Like Katie came and told the disrespect that Scott did to Kevin before, and he just went full rev limit.
Do you think he gets that from your dad at all, or do you maybe not? I mean,
they're kind of similar. Yeah. See, he was quite calm, you know, and then he doesn't take disrespect like that. Then it just went going.
And I'm not surprised from Scott Speed, the worst racer of all time.
Yeah.
And that was some
big words. But he explained to it after, you know, it was kind of, you know, he didn't mean worst driver, you know.
No, sure.
We respect him a lot, but as a racer, he just plain took him out. He doesn't enjoy that, so he had some
Like I said, rivalries make our job easier. You can see it. It's very transparent. I love it. But your brother's going against Fraser McConnell, and Fraz is looking really good. What do you think of his driving prowess?
Yeah, he's good. He hasn't been doing a lot of ice with us in Nordic, so yeah, he's looking great out there. Here's a lot of car handling, how to do it, and yeah, he's doing good. I mean, it's my brother against a brother from another mother, so it's quite fun to see now.
Nice.
They're
cool.
kind of teammates, aren't they? So what do you do in this situation where you're both running out the same tent? You know, obviously they both want to win, but there's
just race clean. Don't hit each other too much. We're still racing for position. You have to still respect the race. Everyone wants to win, but just don't take each other out. It costs too much money.
Right on. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us up here. I mean, you got some time to chill because you're the last battle bracket in this whole squad here. But this is we had a fun wild ride with Andrew Carlson, who built this very track. But guess what? The track didn't like him here today as Robin Larsson gets the victory. Andrew Carlson knocks himself out. When we come back, we'll see Kevin Eriksson and Fraser McConnell in our next battle here at Nitro Rallycross.
Nitro Circus is back with the action-packed You Got This tour. Top athletes in FMX, skate, BMX, scooter, and more are ready to get the party started, throwing down huge world's firsts with more crazy contraptions, more insane stunts, and more high adrenaline fun than ever before. Get ready, because we're coming to a city near you.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Get your tickets now at nitrocircus.com.
I feel like the definition of a great rallycross driver is someone that can adapt to anything.
Versatile, good car control, but also very technical in the sharp moments.
You have to deal with heat well. It's surprisingly hot in these little freak show machines.
To be a good rallycross driver, I should be able to answer this.
You've got to be focused, you've got to be alert, and the main thing is just go flat out.
And I think you have to not get stressed by ridiculous things going on outside your windshield.
Kind of a mix between everything, but mostly, you just gotta unbuckle your brain, and just send it sometimes. So.
All right, well, welcome back as we are seeing cars that fly in more ways than one. We are already a couple rounds deep in our battle brackets. These are our qualifying orders. So Kevin Eriksson, Fraser McConnell, we are seeing Pastrana and Larsson. They already advance on from the 16 into the 8. And, round one was won by Scott Speed. There are points at stake. As you advance, there's 1 point for each round that you win. So Pastrana does get a point. He had that bye run, a number one qualifier. Robin Larsson advances past Carlson. Eriksson McConnell, speaking of Pastrana.
Do you say number one qualifier? I like the way that sounds. 0.01 hundredth of a second. This is awesome.
That was sick. And look, you know what? I'm stoked you're up here. We get to wrap out with you because you did have your bye run, and the track is transforming beautifully. It looks like you're having fun, and it looks fast.
It is definitely fast. The main line is awesome right now. We just have to figure out how to get kind of that mud area a little bit further off, so when we get more drivers out there. You know, the battle heats are going to be pretty good, but tomorrow this thing is going to be absolutely unbelievable. The Carlson's doing a great job. Sorry, I see Andrew. That's right where I went off too. So this one is
Deegan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Unfortunately, I lost $1 today. I didn't even make it to the final.
Out of all the turns, turn 1 is giving everybody the most problems. Is it because you're trying to get too aggressive with that flick and over the hip, or what's the reason?
Well, because the coolest thing you have right here is launching.
And here's a segue of you coming out of your car.
I was a little sore. I hit the wall really hard. I almost flipped it, though. I think I almost touched the side of the roof to the ground and was able to save it, and then I was going 60 miles an hour straight into a wall. The wall won, unfortunately, but hopefully be back tomorrow, side-by-sides. Awesome to see Tanner doing so good, and awesome having Deegan out there. Interesting, though, coming into this jump, you can go completely sideways. You're actually in the air for about 70, 80 feet, which is pretty neat.
So this was when Ollie Eriksson had it. So this is what happened to Ollie, which I imagine was unseen by you. We'd seen this, and you were coming down on a hot lap because Timmy Hansen and you were in this super tight fight for the top time, and Ollie doesn't know you're here. Like, you come through and you just tag him.
Yeah, that was the last run. I was like, oh man, this I felt really horrible because my spotter was like, hey, go inside on the next turn. And I thought Ollie was actually off on the following corner.
Yeah.
So misinterpretation there, but definitely he's quick. Got the car back going. My car is, the Subarus are freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a bigger car. This is a faster circuit, so if there's ever a time that we can hopefully take down the Hansens, this is going to be it.
You said you were going to ban the Swedes, and you still haven't done it. I mean, if they continue to win, are we just going to ban them?
No, we have to beat them as it is. And I have to say that, Scott Speed brought me aside and said, hey, look, you've been scrapping your whole life. You go into these guys' worlds. You do everything, just jumping in, jumping out. He goes, you brought these guys into your world. He's like, I got the car. Awesome. We fixed the starts. We got everything you need. He's like, so when you go into that first turn, you don't have to scrap when you have the line.
Right.
All you have to do is not mess up. So let's work on that this time.
Hey, well, Travis, let's catch up with one of your buddies, Street Bike Tommy. He's with the fans. Let's go. Tommy, what's up?
Oh, hey, Travis. What's up, guys?
Tommy.
First off, I want to say, hey, Trav, thanks for the job. I appreciate you, man. And down here at NRX, man, it's all about these fans, bro. Oh, my God. What an experience, man. Mom, I see you. Yeah. So, man, I couldn't be happier with all my people down here watching all my friends race. It can't be any better. So, yeah, appreciate you guys.
Tommy, it sounds like you hit the Red Bull bar down there as well.
Exactly. Travis could say that. I think he snuck a little vodka, did a little Can Crushers in there, and just having some fun.
Travis, so for our European friends, I've been lucky enough to see the amazing clip of Street Bike Tommy and the legendary jump. But for those who haven't seen it, that was insane.
Yeah, Street Bike Tommy didn't get his nickname because he's really good at riding street bikes. So he got his nickname because he missed the entire foam pit. But it was the start of kind of Nitro Circus, and he's been just such a good friend. And he crashes all my stuff all the time. With the stuff I don't crash, he helps me with. And just awesome, dude. So good to see him here. So great to see the crowd here. Thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for tuning in. This is absolutely awesome, and it's literally a dream come true. It's been a lot of years in the making.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Hey, ERX, you guys having fun out there? Let everybody know they need to join us out here. Make some noise. All right, they're warming up. They know that tomorrow is game day. And again, what a great addition. But I was talking to Coley, and Katie keeps asking, hey, the rivalry, you and Deegan. But now your kids are battling against each other more than you're raising these kids that are racing. Between your daughters and look at Haley and Danger Boy, it's pretty rad to see that.
Yeah, Haley, Danger Boy. Danger Boy's won so many. He's won more national championships than I'd ever dreamed of, and he's not even turned pro yet. So definitely cool to see what Brian's doing, and just his passion for the sport is awesome. We've always been rivals. We're still rivals. We still talk a lot of crap. But Deegan's been quicker all through practice. I think he was planning on leaving, but he's changing his flight. I've heard. So hopefully he stays around tomorrow. They'll have my Can-Am fixed up. Hopefully don't mess that up again, but it's been awesome. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, call this race with us. I know, you got a bye run, so you have some time on your hands. Maybe don't go join Street Bike Tommy at the bar just yet. So, again, wet we don't want, right? I mean, if you're a forecast, you don't want moisture on the track at this point, correct?
No, hey, we don't have dust, so it's 100% better than round one.
Oh, stop.
Definitely more raceable here. This soil is amazing. I mean, the Carlsons are part owners with, they have like a basically a gravel pit in the back. So whatever we need, and they can rebuild the track today, but this is going to be a great matchup right now.
All right, so stick around, call it with us. Kevin Eriksson, Fraser McConnell, as Ollie was talking about, they're both operated by Olsbergs. Let's see who comes out on top. Kevin Eriksson, a huge fan, #1 fan of Scott Speed, that Kevin Eriksson. Fraser McConnell here as he gets the jump a little bit. Let's see what we got.
On the outside, Fraser, man, impressed everyone with his speed at the first round. He hasn't been exceptionally quick here with all the dirt. And you see Eriksson just launched all the way to the bottom. That had to be 150 feet right there. The track is fairly safe, but at the same time, you got to modulate like how far you go, because you can definitely jump these supercars to flat.
We saw that yesterday. I know you said, Travis, these guys have got to start thinking three-dimensionally. Not every jump is flat. They know to break for a hairpin, but they haven't got their heads around all of them. Haven't got their heads around how to fly the jumps. As we say, they were coming up to the biggest one just now. Take a look at this for us.
Nice. Both of them broke up, checked up really nicely. Fraser is so fast. He's so good at everything, but there's so much elevation here. I think it's a little bit not quite as in his element as he was last weekend. I see the Joker. It's a good move to take that first lap. A little bit of loose getting on the windscreens, and we don't have any tear-offs.
Yeah, what line do you prefer? So this is, again, that turn 1 that's coming into play quite a bit for you, Travis, as well as a few other drivers.
Holy cow, you see Eriksson, he must have gone probably 100 feet off of what I didn't even think was a jump, lands on the handbrake, backs it in around there. This track, as it develops, it gets kickers, it gets bumps, especially being wet. I definitely like the outside coming in there, full send, but it's hard to get the car back down to the bottom in there.
Eriksson pushing really hard now. I think what Travis said about the big jump right in front of the announcing boxes, he knows that Fraser will immediately respond if he feels that Kevin's faster. Kevin doesn't even want to give him the chance to respond. If Fraz knows he can't get in and out of the Joker, he won't go, and that gives Kevin another lap to chase him down. At the minute, it's 2.6. Is Fraser going to respond or not? He's going to go out wide. He does.
Here he goes. Wasn't the best entry into there, I tell you.
It's tight, but Kevin's going to run him into the wall. Just gives him enough space.
Inside. Watch this. Here we go. Here we're coming in the corner. Fraser sending it in deep.
Oh
my gosh. No, that's going to be a flat.
As Kevin pushed the tire up the rim, Travis Pastrana is bang on the money. The front left is off. Kevin just jumped it a little bit too far. He did that jump big on the previous lap. Travis, that time was too big and too much lock on the landing.
Just a little bit too much lock. It's so tough. I mean, when you're jumping, what you don't see there is all these jumps are kind of rounded, so they don't look like they're that high. But if you take off from how high you're going to where you're landing, you're dropping 10, 15 feet completely sideways at 90 miles an hour. Like these, it's amazing that the tires are doing, everything. As far as pavement takeoffs and everything else. But definitely Fraser moving on here. I think Fraser will be really happy with this. That was going to be a really tight race right there.
That was aggressive, right? And what we talked about earlier, about 2.6 seconds on that Joker lap, right? So that, in addition to the normal racing line. Also, notably, Andrew Carlson just did the same thing that Kevin Eriksson did prior, landing on that left side.
He didn't just roll the tires; he rolled the rims. The amount of side. That's where I crashed on the Can-Am. Right. Like you want to send it. It's so cool. It looks so cool, but man, it is so dangerous to go in there.
It just sucks you into going too quick in.
Normally, if it was Blue Groove, you would have no problem. The cars would land and slide, but now you're landing into kind of muddy conditions, and it's just stopping
just grabbing
the vehicle.
you, just grabbing you right there. And we saw Carlson break both left wheels absolutely from the spokes to the barrels. But let's take a look at it again. The eye in the sky. Fraser McConnell, aggressive, clean, keeps it tidy.
He had the best start on the outside line, but because Kevin had the inside, it didn't go his way in so easily in turn 1. Kevin joked it immediately, and it was Travis who spotted that huge jump, which we might see at the end of this section. And I thought he was just going to hunt him right down. He was on him up at the hairpin, up at the top end of the circuit. He was right there. And Kevin just needed one more tenth. If he'd had another tenth, he could have shut the door on Franz, but he gave him another. He's a gentleman, he's his teammate. He didn't put him in the wall.
I think Kevin still would have gotten around him. I don't know that he needed to send that quite as big there. But, in the moment, you want to send it. It makes for some great racing. You saw in the lights class, those guys were both launching off there, but you just can't land quite that sideways with the dirt and the conditions there are right now.
Taking a look at Fraser McConnell there, just getting some beauty shots of the proud Jamaican. Uncle Saul cheering him on, says it on his back window. And Coley, the more we talk about him, the invite to sandals in Jamaica comes through. That's just the fact of the matter. We're trying to get to Jamaica at some point.
I've been trying watch this jump. Oh, he didn't quite see where he lands. He landed straight that lap. This time he was really trying to get ahead of Fraser. And Fraser's whole family, man, they were the life of the party after last round. I tell you, I like this guy. He's got a lot of personality. He's got a lot of fun. The family is into it, and he is fast.
Yeah, he's really clean.
Watch this as we come out through the Joker here. So look, Fraser's on the outside. If Kevin had just a tenth of a second here, he could shut the door. But because it's Frazzy's outside him, it's his teammate. He can't. You see what I mean? 1/10, he could have shut the door on him, but he can't. Now Fraz has the inside line for the jump.
Watch,
and
he just
this is it here, Trav.
Launches this, puts it sideways.
Doug.
If the dirt was hard packed, it would have been no problem at all. That would have been an awesome pass, but unfortunately, man, the skies just have not been friendly to us.
No, that much side by it, no tire can take that kind of abuse and stay on the rim. So the Yokohamas take a licking, and look at that, just digging in. Here's a shovel. Can you dig it?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. As Kevin Eriksson takes himself out. So that's back-to-back Hondas, and the Olsbergs slamming out there on that turn 1. Now I'm excited to see 10 cars going off turn 1.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tomorrow it should be, I mean, barring this rain stays away, I tell you, this track is going to be absolutely mint. It's going to open up so much wider. There's going to be so many passing opportunities, and I couldn't be more proud of the Carlsons and definitely the NRX crew here.
What's your preferred line? Because I love just all the different lines, you know, the berm where you almost hit Ollie earlier, the high and the low. Sorry, you did it. I'm sorry, my bad. I hate to bring up old stuff, but there's so many different options, man. You love it.
What's really interesting is the inside is going to be faster once we start carrying more speed, because once you have to break up that jump, the inside's going to come into its own. But right now, it's slick enough that we're not getting the speed, so we don't need to break much on the takeoff. So basically, you're pretty much wide open from the outside, so you carry that momentum, and it's good. Yeah. Tomorrow, as the track gets better and better, that inside's going to come in more and more, and it's going to be the driver that can say, you know, the moto guy that says, this line's working, it worked better last time, but this line's going to be faster.
So what I want to know is what can you tell us about the next 3 rounds? Because I came here, I was excited, I'd seen the footage, but it was a lot wilder and a lot cooler than I thought. And I just wondering what's going on up there in your mind for Arizona and Glen Helen. Like, what can we expect, Travis?
Well, so what we wanted here was, there was a big discrepancy on the driver saying, we can't have gap jumps. I said, okay, let's round it off, but let's still do the gaps to where you still have to not go wide open. Yeah. So many of the drivers and the short course truck drivers and everyone that doesn't come from motorcycles says every jump should be wide open. And I said, well, if it's wide open, then it's just for the crowd. Like, let's make this technical. Let's make it challenging. Yep. One of the drivers, actually, that was a joke, 199 foot marker, and one of the lights cars made it all the way there. So, you know, we're trying to kind of build this up slowly without any injuries, without too much damage to the car. Ish.
Slowly? We had a 100-foot jump at round 1.
Okay, but as they go, next round's going to have some 2 over-under crosses.
Yep.
You know, there are going to be big jumps, but if we can keep it a lot of tabletops this year, keep the Europeans wanting to come in at, hey, the NASCAR season ends.
Yep. Hey, let's go.
Ends, like, come on, guys, let's go have some fun.
I love it, and you got to keep the rivalries going. We talked about you. Do you remember the last race that you and Deegan raced at and went against each other?
No, I completely forgot. I remember. I just,
all right, well, here, let's throw to this tape. Let's keep the rivalries going. Deegan and Pastrana, roll the tape.
I ran into Brian Deegan after practice, and as different as we've approached things, he works hard, he's very passionate, and he's extremely talented as a driver.
So I say, we're gonna have a gentleman's bet of $1. There you go, all right.
I think it's awesome that we're both still able to compete at a top level. I'm excited to have this $1 bet, so no matter where Brian is on the track, I want to be one spot in front of him.
Here we go, Crandon is underway on Sunday.
Who's got the inside, who's got the outside?
Pastrana answering back on the inside, and Travis will retake 4th. There's Deegan back there in 6th, looming in the monster back number 38. Oh, and Pastrana's done.
It's brutal. It's awesome. Was right behind Deegan. He gets around people a little bit better. I tried to keep up. I tried to pitch in on one guy. Bicycle. I mean, I had that thing on 2 wheels right off the road, so lost quite a bit of ground there. But 0 for 3 with Deegan. Felt like we should have had the first 2 for sure, but that one he's straight up. He's just better in traffic for sure.
We are in the battle phase of round 2 of Nitro Rallycross here at ERX Motor Park, Minneapolis in Minnesota. Next up, we've got Kevin Hansen and Tanner Foust. Tanner Foust is going to be in one of the DRR Audis, but earlier on, We had our man Robin Larsson was out. One of Jared has been out mugging people on the stairs this time.
Oh,
Jared.
come on. No, Muggy. You always say that. I'm not mugging anybody, but had to pull him in here as we see our next battle here. Hansen and Foust. And we got Robin Larsson. He's going to call some action. I'd love to hear his insight here as Robin Larsson took out Andrew Carlson, or Carlson took himself out as Hansen gets the jump. Tanner Foust almost landed on Hansen.
I think he did land on him on that rear right fender. Faust now on the inside line gets into Kevin's door. This is a bullish race. Faust going to go left. That's the slippery line though. I was going to flick it back the other way. The traction isn't as good in there. Jared, all that work at the start of the lap looks like he's gone backwards, unfortunately.
Unbelievable, Larsson. What's going through your mind right now?
That was high.
Yeah, so high. Mate, Robin, how are you getting on? Like, this is your first time at Nitro Rallycross. I know we talked about it before you came over here. You know, such a strong competitor over in Europe and World Championship, but I know you really wanted to come here with the cartel.
Yeah, of course. It's a new thing, new start for us and for me. So, like I said to you, I try to be better on everything. It's so big difference to what we do in Europe with the big jumps and the rhythm jumps. So
yeah,
it's so hard, but it's so fun.
It's a totally different style of racing in Europe and compared to here at Nitro.
Yeah, like here you can send it, but still do it clean. But in Europe, it's more or less racing style, and you need to hunt those tenths every time.
Your driving style, for the guys over here who don't know you and watching at home or on the track, you're more of a Sendy kind of driver, aren't you? That style really suits you.
Yeah, I would say that. But here in Nitro, it feels like more or less every guy sends it. So it's so fun, and like you said, the drivers here are so good. So it's so hard to get away from the brackets. So I think
we are
broke that one. So
sorry to cut you off there, Robin, but we are seeing that exit stage left there for Tanner Foust. He will have to retire, so that means as long as Kevin Hansen finishes out this run, looks like he hits that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. But here on the final lap for Kevin Hansen, that was exciting. That was a great way to start it. But I'm telling you, he almost leapfrogged him.
It was exciting for the first 500-600 meters,
wasn't it?
And then unfortunately it's not gone quite so well. I think that could have been a really close call. Tanner, I wonder if something was broken in the contact of the hairpin. You know, when he went down the low traction lane, he lost a lot of time immediately. We know there's a bit less grip on that left lane at the moment. There is on the right from the way the track's developed. But how's the track coming in, Robin? Because it looks to us like it's getting a lot more grip now and more choices.
Yeah, it's starting to grip up, but it's more or less one line. But it's still raceable, so it's starting to get really fun. But I think the action tomorrow is going to be really, really good.
Yeah,
it's going to be more or less 2 lanes, or you can go wherever you want. Now it's more or less one line, but we can still race really good. And as you can see, Tanner did pretty hard. So
how do you think that happened with Tanner going so far? I mean, I haven't seen anybody get that aggressive right out of the gate.
I think it's really easy when you are close to someone and you feel like you're gaining on him.
So you just
you
push a bit
lose
harder.
the control of the jump.
Yeah.
You lose the sight. So I think that's pretty easy, especially on the big jumps. So yeah, I don't think he wanted to send it that much.
Can I just point out how awesome that was? We were just on the FPV drone, and then we cut to the super high drone. Like, I mean, we're going between drones here.
Right.
Shout out to the drone guys and the guys in the TV truck. That's awesome. And this is heading back to the paddock now, around the back there of Dreyer and Reinbold and EKSRX.
So here's where it began, right? So you got Tanner Foust on the left, Kevin Hansen, and just again, as you say, Robin, just was Tanner Foust out of body. Watch how high he goes on that first jump.
It's so high.
That is so absolutely high.
Luckily, Kevin wasn't one meter to the right.
Yeah, that would have been the rear wing. We'd have been looking at an Abu Dhabi situation, you know, with cars riding on the back of each other.
I think it broke there or in the jump.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
You saw how much that compressed.
Yeah.
I mean that
is a high jump.
Look at this angle. Watch how much it slams. Oh,
they jump pretty good, but that is a high jump.
There's a limit. Travis we just had Travis in the box just before you, and he was saying about how everybody's got to kind of learn about the jumps thing. Not everything's flat out. And Tanner, to me, looked like he'd lined Kevin up before the corner. You know, he came into turn 1 wide, he got it squared off, it was perfect. If he'd pulled that off, we'd have all been going, that's the best pass of the weekend. Sometimes you got to risk it for a biscuit. This time it didn't pay off.
Cookie crumbled. So biscuits, cookie, you know, we're
we could. It's the whole transatlantic thing, you know.
Exactly. So Kevin Hansen gets the victory. He will be going against Fraser McConnell. So Fraz and Kevin Hansen. Robin, I got to ask you, is it the Hansen brothers that have the targets on the back? I mean, obviously 1 and 3, maybe they're more familiar with Utah. This is a different track. I mean, I got to think that the Hansens are the guys to beat.
Yeah, for sure. The Hansen brothers and the Subaru guys, I think. The Subaru guys are really quick here. They have tested here. And Bakkerud got some free laps on the practice.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Come on, he was a look at. I mean, seriously.
You saw it coming.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, gosh, everybody's cheating all this craziness. All right, so here's Timmy Hansen, Ollie Bennett. We are quickly going to it. Let's see who gets the jump. Ollie Bennett, great to see him out there in his Mini, a proven vehicle with Liam Doran kind of building that vehicle up. But Timmy Hansen gets the jump.
I tell you, Bennett's looking good here. He always starts well in that car. He's got the rhythm section on jumps well. Going to pitch it in around the outside. Go on, Ollie.
Hold it.
Ooh, look at that. Timmy swinging wide, going door to door.
So Hansen in the lead from Bennett then. Up into that back berm section where the outside line looks to be the only one which is an option at the minute. Up and over the jump at the back. Ollie's going well. You know, Timmy's a previous world champion. I think it's fair to say that Ollie's not that, he's not at that level of experience. He's doing all right here.
Yeah, no, he's looking good as we see Ollie and Hansen on track here real quick. Katie, you got some updates?
Well, yeah, Timmy Hansen was saying this is definitely not his driving style. He is not used to this 100% dirt thing. It's more like the 70-30. So as he's learning this car, he's also learning the track, and he's also understanding these conditions. I asked him, what should he be doing? He said, well, I don't think you have to use the brake at all. After he saw Tanner Foust go flying, he said, definitely the brake. Going to be using that brake quite a bit.
Right on, thank you for the update. Yeah, the all dirt, I mean, outside of that launch, it's 100% dirt. And I like it. I think it's cool, and the side-by-side's a great addition. What else?
So, unfortunately, unseen by you guys, Bennett has had a spin right in front of the announcing booth. I think he's coming over the first crest. He backed it in a little bit too hard, and he was parked right on the apex, but there was a yellow flag. He's managed to reverse it out, and Bennett is still going. He's about a half lap down, so you can see he's plus 25, and we all know the Joker is in the region of 2 to 3 seconds. So, a good start by Ollie, but Timmy's going to take this one easily. He's still got another lap to go. Now, Robert, we should talk about your next matchup. You said yeah, we do. We do. You said that Subaru are quick here. We know that Travis is pretty good at jumps, and it's Travis Pastrana. How you feeling?
It's fun. I mean, going ahead against Travis is gonna be awesome. He's really fast. I need to push it, so it's good to see your speed. I couldn't really try my speed now because the spotter said slow down like 1,000 times.
Really?
So yeah, it was hard to know your speed, but for sure I need to push if I want to be close to Travis, so it's going to be good fun.
And you got to think the entirety of the weekend, keep the car together. I mean, game day is tomorrow. The bracket battles, it's good, it progresses, but you got to think winning the actual event.
Yeah, the main goal now was to just win the first bracket. Because I didn't do that in Utah, but now I get 8 cars or something behind me, so that's good. So now I take everything as a bonus and just try to learn, and the real action is tomorrow, and I don't want to be too far behind in the start tomorrow. That's going to be the main key.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you do want to keep it together, but how much of an advantage is it to be further up that grid? I mean, every row counts, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be, I think, 8 cars in one heat.
Yeah.
That's going to be, you want to be
in the other one with only 7.
Yeah, and you want to be as high in that heat as possible, so I don't want to be starting from the back as in Utah. That was
right. Well, as we take a look at it again, this is where it went south for Ollie Bennett. He saved the car from getting more damage, but Ollie Bennett loses to Timmy Hansen. He will advance on, and as Robin Larsson joining us up here calling some action as well. Again, the track is looking great. I'm loving it, right, Robin? I mean, I just think it's drying out. It's looking great. And yes, Andreas got some more laps than you. Just relax, bro.
But I can take it. It's good.
Yeah, but it's transforming really well.
Yeah, for sure. We stayed away from the rain this day, so I think we couldn't ask for more this day. It could be much worse with the rain and could be cancelled and everything. So we could do the brackets pretty good right now. So I think the second round bracket's gonna be really hard.
Right on. Well, thank you for joining us up here, Robin. We'll let you focus on the race. We'll see how you do against Travis, or you might be partying early with Street Bike Tommy over at the Red Bull bar. So Robin said he's just going to go down there now. Hey, Katie, you're at Tanner Foust.
Yeah, Tanner Foust is doing some stretches over here. A little tight, man. We were just glad to see he's okay. What happened from your viewpoint there?
I mean, we've been pretty much flat over that jump all day. I had never been that far to the right, and I mean, I saw Kevin just like sink away, and I thought I was going to land on top of him. I had no idea you could catch that much air on that jump. It's usually pretty flat out and a nice smooth landing, so it was a big surprise for me. I'm glad it didn't land on Kevin, and but yeah, unfortunately broke the right rear on the landing, but it's too bad. It makes for a really long day tomorrow, but you know, all we can do is keep pushing, keep digging. The Razor racing is still going, so having fun with that, but got to make sure that we get the Rallycross stuff closed out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Wish you the best. He did say that he was okay, guys. He is stretching out a little bit. He's a little bit sore, but that's racing. He's going to go do a Can-Am race.
Yeah, he's no spring chicken, but he's a flying chicken at that. We were both sitting here like, how? Why? I mean, the pace was right there. I feel like there's maybe like a secret little kicker off to the right. All right, here we go. Arpin, who finished second in Utah, currently second in points, going against Andreas Bakkerud, our tire technician here, as he was the fastest today. So, again, two very different driving styles, two different vehicles. What are your thoughts?
Well, look what Robin said. He goes, look, he got an extra 8 laps. Now, nobody knew that was coming. It wasn't like a bonus for the thing. No. It was just Yokohama like, we want to try something. We want to pick a car. The only way we can do this is we're going to pick the fastest guy. That was what they did. It's not a bad choice. Your Bakkerud's out-and-out Rallycross pro against Arpin here off the line. Great start for Subaru, but the Hyundai on the inside has got a brilliant start too. Bakkerud going to try and make the car back. Arpin tries to keep it shut.
Oh, gets into the wet. Here we go. So there's that big... Now, so look at that. No Tanner Foust mode there. We're switching to Tanner. Like, go to the moon. And look at Arpin, wide swing. Bakkerud could have struck there, but as Travis was talking about, longer cars. So they're fast, they're quick, but they're long. So they got that wide swing.
They're stable, you know, there's definitely a bit of extra stability, and Bakkerud is very comfortable in a big car. Don't forget he did a couple of seasons with Hoonigan Racing Division in the Focus RS RX, which was also a longer wheelbase car. So Bakkerud now, for me, I would joker if I were him, definitely. Arpin could, I mean, I think if Arpin dummied him and went to joker on lap 1, Bakkerud will just see it. It's not the same as it was in Utah. Yes, you see, so Bakkerud's gone in. He looked to me like he had an edgy bit of pace over Arpin on that previous lap. Now he's got to really nail it. It was 0.2. What is it now? 3.1. So it's 2.9. 2.9 is roughly what the joker is. So Bakkerud needs to be within that if he wants to take Arpin. And Arpin now's got a choice of whether he responds or waits, Jared.
And we're talking about the Subaru, the length of it. I mean, he almost Austin powered that thing going in that Yokohama joker lap, right? You can just park that thing sideways and get stuck in there. It is very narrow and precarious, so you're kind of tiptoeing through there to make sure you don't hit the wall and cause some damage to your car. Arpin gains some more ground, 3.3 seconds as he's pulling away from Bakkerud.
Yeah, he's taken another 10th off him here. Looks he's gone by 0.2, now by 0.3. If I were Arpin, I might be tempted to go this lap. You know you've got it. Don't wait and make a mistake on the next lap. Not that he would, but it's hedge your bets, Jared. You know, you've had a good lap. That's 2.8. Lost 6/10 already, probably gone. Bakkerud's got him on that last sector. Arpin's going to go in now. Watch for Andreas on the inside line. Going to be super close between them, and no, Arpin just holds on.
Yeah, Arpin came out and he kind of pulled what Bakkerud did towards the latter portion of that joker lap. You see him kind of get out of shape, flirting with that wall, and that wall, as we've seen throughout today, is not forgiving at all. So Arpin airs it out pretty big there as Bakkerud trying to track him down. Less than half a second, Arpin scrubs some speed. Bakkerud tries to dive in. Oh, we got contact.
Trying, just letting him know he's there, isn't he? He's desperate for Steve now to run deep, make a mistake. There isn't the corner that we had at Utah where lots of people run in that little bit deep. And I'm not convinced he's going to find a way through here, Jared.
You know what I'm seeing here, and you talked about it earlier, just the track changing color. Dark brown to light brown. That top line is getting very pale, and it's looking very dry, and wow, look at that, absolute hits.
Hit him 3 times, I reckon, there, one on the way. Nothing untoward again, just letting him know, but it's too late. Steve Arpin's done this, going to come up and jump over the line, take the checker. Arpin goes through and Bakkerud goes out, so yeah, done.
Whew. That was a good race. I like that, and I think that's how we want to see the battles, really close, you know, nobody crashing out. No, I mean, obviously contact there towards the end, letting you know, kind of shots fired across the nose. But from the start, Arpin did really well against some momentum, coming from Utah, getting second place, you know, with being bookended with 2 Hansen bros on either side, first and third. But Bakkerud, he's the first I've seen get to the water right there.
Yeah, and it didn't help, did it? If you look, it sucked that front right wheel in, and it cost him a car length. Now, car length doesn't look like much, but would a car length have been enough to get up the inside there? Every little tenth of a second counts.
There's Bakkerud, airing it over on the far side of the track.
The gaps were weird, Jared. You know, we saw it when it went up to 2.8, didn't it? And then suddenly, you know, he had it at 3.5. Somewhere, Arpin lost 7/10 of a second. I was like, he's done. He went in there with only 2.6, and yet he still came out. Bakkerud, look, has held the inside line here, and I wonder he could have run the car a bit wider, but I still don't think he would have got him.
Yeah,
if he'd used all the track on the exit.
We saw Kevin Eriksson take a really tight line there when he went against Fraser McConnell, but I think that was the right line, the one that Kevin had. But like you said, just getting that big chassis sideways, it's getting a lot of, you know, it's slowing it down considerably.
I think those alternate lines aren't quite there. When you had Travis up here, Travis has been here before. You know, I know Bakkerud was at the test as well, but Travis, he was saying when the line comes in and we've got the full width, you'll have real options. We'll see a lot of passing. And at the minute, let's say you've got 50 to 75% of the line is clean, it's just not quite enough to exploit those options, you know, to really make a gap, to find a way through. So, yeah, Bakkerud's out.
Yeah, Bakkerud out early in the 16. Up next, we have 2 more battles. Scott Speed and Cabot Bigham, follow the ham, and then finally we got Ollie Eriksson and Liam Doran. What's the smile?
I'm really just looking forward to Ollie Eriksson versus Liam Doran. Like, Liam in any battle is always good. But Liam's so fired up about this track, he absolutely loves it. You know, Robin's gone through from the round 1. The cartel had a really rough event down in Utah. They really did. It did not go their way at all. This was Bakkerud just putting a bit of pressure on. He's not going to push him round because Andreas knows he'll immediately get DQ'd for that. But Jared, it's that nudge, I'm here, nudge, I'm annoying, nudge, and then you watch the mirrors, and if you get them driving on their mirrors, they're not looking where they're going, then they make a mistake and you open the door. So he's just knocking on the door. That's all it is.
Yeah, a little more than that. He's poking the bear is what he's doing. So there's how our bracket is shaping up. The qualifying order, you can see the round of 16. Eriksson, Carlson, Bakkerud, Foust, and Bennett, they are knocked out. And again, every round that they advance from 16 to 8 to 4, and then overall, like I said, Scott Speed got the win of the battle bracket, so that was 4 points overall. Travis got 3. But speaking of Scott Speed, here he is. Scott Speed and Cabot Bigham are ready to line it up. Katie, you got some news?
Well, Cabot Bigham's car looks like it's in a great piece there, but just a few days ago it wasn't. He said that team had to work exceptionally hard after the incident that he had in round 1. But what he did say, knowing that he's lined up against Scott, is that Scott is consistent and fast, and he has some drive time here. But like any driver, he is prone to pressure. So Cabot's goal is to capitalize on Scott's mistakes, and that's what he's thinking about behind the wheel.
Well, we saw Scott Speed up here in the spotters tower, really taking notes on everybody. He really likes to analyze everything. But here we go. And you know what, Cabot Bigham, I know he's getting used to that car and getting those launches down is critical. But Scott Speed takes that inside line. Cabot Bigham, that butcher box Audi on the outside. Who's going to take it?
Fair play, tried to hold on. I actually thought Cabot was going to pull that off and hold it off all the way around the outside. Obviously, if you can hold around the outside at turn 1, you're inside for turn 2. You know, looking to capitalise on Scott Speed's mistakes, they're few and far between. The guy is an absolute pro. He's one of the most successful drivers in American Rallycross, certainly. I kind of gutted he never came across to Europe. We can fix that next year when Nitro Rallycross goes across to Europe. So I hope we'll see Scott come across for those events as well. And of course, he was the winner last week of the battle brackets. He knows what he's got to get done here, and at the minute, he's doing it.
All right, so Scott Speed now there on the far side of the track, going to turns 5 and 6. And there is that Yokohama Tire Joker lap as Scott Speed now comes and crosses the finish line. 1 lap down, 2 more to go, 3 in total. That butcher box Audi slamming down. Man, I don't know. I mean, those Audis, for some reason, they just get a lot of air underneath them, man.
Yeah, so you want to. That's the way to land it. Look at the way it squashes it, and then there you can see him dancing on the pedal. Just the back of the car goes light, gets it rotated in. He's going well with Scott, but he will split the strategy on this lap. If Scott doesn't go, and I don't think Scott will, because Scott's in front and he knows it's advantage him.
Right.
So I think Bigham will.
Scott's taking the low line.
That's interesting. So is that a test to see what the grip levels are like? They're pretty confident they're sitting in there to do that right now. Looks good though, Jared. To me, the gap doesn't look. I mean, could even be a car length longer.
Yeah, it didn't alter much. And as the sun came out, drying things up, and there goes Bigham into the Joker.
So Travis said that, didn't he? That when it dries up, he said the inside line will be faster, he reckoned. So Speed has just tested that now. Yeah, he's looking great. He's got 4.1 seconds at this point. The Joker, we really aren't sure. And I know, that must make us
we're
sound
in the
like
vicinity 2 to 3.
Yeah, we're terrible experts, but it's we've seen it vary so much. Yeah, but the side-by-sides as little as 2 because of those chunky tyres they're just able to turn in, and then these guys, it really has varied from 2.6 to 3.1. So we're getting somewhere in the region of what we think. As it dries out, I expect that to come down when there's more traction on the Joker and on the standard lap.
3.9 seconds. That is not going to be enough there for Cabot Bigham, as Speed has to hit the Joker lap. So he's going stage right. See how he manages this. Again, we saw Bakkerud really crawl through there, but 4 seconds, he really needs to just park it. Unfortunately for Bigham, not the case. So Scott Speed comes out on top. Again, our bracket battle winner took it all the way to the top in Utah, but Speed comes out your victor.
One more battle in this first round. Liam Doran versus Ollie Eriksson. Had Ollie up here in the announcer's booth just earlier on. He was feeling pretty confident, I think. Tidy run from Scott, no problem really. I mean, Bigham tried it round the outside of turn 1. If you can go all the way around the outside, and again, once that dirt's gone from that outside line and the racing line gets a little bit wider, maybe tomorrow you'll see someone hang it out all the way around the outside. Go big over the jump like Tanner did and hold on to the inside line. So we could see a race right the way up to turn 2 tomorrow when we've got multiple cars on track. But right now, unfortunately, Bigham tried the outside, and it's just a little bit too loose there, Jared.
Yeah, so Scott Speed, I feel like he's the guy to beat. Scott Speed will be going against Ollie Eriksson or Liam Doran next. And you called it right from the beginning, or I should say, Katie, then you actually kind of, I concur. Scott Speed, does not make mistakes.
That's really
on
rare.
something like that. I mean, Kevin Eriksson would say different, but but overall,
poke the bear. Poke the bear.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, like I said, it makes our job more fun. Ooh, and he swung and a miss. I'm just kidding. So Cabot Bigham, exit stage left, follow the ham. In this case, follow the Speed, Scott Speed. Remember, Scott Speed, he was like the great American hope for Formula One. He did Formula One. He's done multiple different disciplines of driving, different manufacturers, and has been with Subaru for a few years now.
I was talking to him yesterday. Scott wants to try rally. As in
like
stage rally.
Yeah,
in the price. And I was like, you need to get an experienced co-driver. He's like, no, I want a novice co-driver to learn it with me. I'm like, dude, you are up against it. A novice driver with novice co-driver. But he really wants to write the notes. And he said, you know what, I know I'm going to suck, and that's fine because I love challenging myself to learn something new. I don't think he's got any ambitions of joining, the rally side of the team. But this one's going to be exciting. Liam Doran, the British bomb, but Ollie Eriksson has the inside line. Eriksson's got a much better launch than Doran. Doran goes backwards. He's going to go straight into tactics mode. Liam's got great exit speed here. He's in the tail of Ollie Eriksson, but there is no way through, and squashes the jump. Eriksson flies really long.
Yeah, Ollie Eriksson going really long, as you say, similar to that of Tanner Foust. Look at Liam Doran, slides it in, tandem battle. Look at this, they push back and forth. We got a boxing match between Doran and Eriksson.
Great pass by Doran there. He had that backed in from a long way back. He knew he was going to go for the undercut door to door. There's nothing wrong with that contact. Great move, Jared. Muscled his way through.
Just the way Doran is moving that car around. He's just got more angle. He's coming in backwards. A gravel machine gun as Doran is trying to get and maintain that clean air. Here comes Eriksson. Does he take the Joker lap?
100%.
Or does he keep applying the pressure?
He's going to go Joker. I thought Doran was going to cover him off there, and Eriksson, I think, maybe thought the same. 2 inputs on the steering, and it wasn't a great Joker. No. So that's advantage Liam, but I reckon Liam will go on the next lap, because to me, Ollie looked quick on that first lap.
3.3 second difference here on those splits. Doran out front. Doran is looking just aggressive. Like you said, he loves the track. He does big sense. Look at that massive backwards entry. What is going on?
That's Liam all over that. He said to me this morning, I came up here, he said, I braked, put it in the wall, and then Andrea was like, what is it like? He said, yeah, but I like it. I wanted to send it. And then he said, I know what I need to do. I need to send it in earlier. We need to get on it, get it rotated, and get on the gas. So that's what he's doing. At the minute, the gap is 3.3, but it's tight. I wonder if he's going to wait one more lap. I'm not convinced that the showboating's faster.
Right, and Eriksson, you saw him just temper the flame, dialed it down. Look at Liam Doran, where's he going? Looks like
he's gone Joker.
There we go, Liam with that Joker lap. And how does he come out? Door to door, Doran just edges him out, and he holds on to that lead.
Wow, that was close. He lost a 10th, Jared. In the previous sector, he lost a 10th to Ollie, and I thought he was going to be close than that, but great driving by both of them to keep out of each other. And Liam now's just got to keep the door shut. So will he go quite a showboater? Yes, he will, because he's Liam Doran. Get in. Look at that. You see the inside left lifting the roost up as well. Full throttle, full send. Get in, Liam.
I mean, this is looking more Formula Drift than it is Nitro Rallycross right now with those entries. But Doran is doing it his way, right?
You know what? Liam has got the most incredible car control. So the likes of Peter Solberg, I would put him up there with that kind of car control. Jared, you know, he was at Loiac, a French circuit, and we had Vaughan Gittin Jr. was there. Liam just jumped in a drift car with Vaughan and went out like he was a pro. Oh, Ollie Eriksson looking up the inside line. Liam needs to not lose out. That's going to be a run to the line. Ollie tries the move. Liam sideways. Ollie, if he'd waited there, might have got him, but it does go the way of the British bomb.
So Liam Doran shuts the door on Ollie Eriksson, and that was a great battle. Wow.
That might be my favourite battle so far.
Sure.
You know, the ones certainly here, the ones last weekend, the crowd like it as well. Everyone's on their feet here applauding, and it's going to be Doran versus Speed.
Wow. Oh, that should be fun.
It will.
Man. So Doran and Speed. So our grade 8 is shaped up. Oh man, let's take a look at it again. That was an absolute battle of the ages.
Amazing. So Liam, look at this with a great exit from turn 1 over the jump. Ollie flies super long. The car now, he does get it settled. Look, he's got it on the brakes, but he's slightly deep. Doran sets it up really early, which is what he did on all the following laps. He's got the inside line. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a great rallycross pass. You won't see many passes better than that.
Dude, the British bomb absolutely lit the fuse and blew it up here at ERX. Airing it out. Eriksson went really long, and look at that thing slammed down. I'm surprised it kept going, and we saw that from Tanner Foust earlier. He had to retire. We've seen everybody on turn 1, and then going into 2, everybody's just airing it out.
Liam, look, keeping the distance short over that top jump, just landing just off the knuckle. That's what Scott had said was the right way to do it. Look at, again, that difference. Look at Tanner. When we saw Tanner, it was just a tiny bit quicker than Kevin Hansen had gone here. We're seeing Kevin Eriksson just a little bit quicker than Liam. But the difference in trajectory and like path flight length is insane for 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, we need air traffic control out here with the way, I mean, that's our motto, right? Cars that fly. And they are living up to it. And you asked the right question there when Travis was in here. He said, what can we expect for future rounds? He said he's got 2 over-unders in Arizona.
Yeah, I believed it was gap, but maybe it's bridge, not sure. But you never know what to expect, and right. I love that. I'm loving the track so far. You know, there's loads to learn. Everybody knows that. Everybody's working super hard here at Nitro Rallycross to make sure everything's great. There've been some changes from last week to this week, little tweaks on the regulations. You know what? This didn't work. Let's change it up. We'll make it work better. Everybody here is working so hard behind the scenes to make sure you guys have the best show, whether you're here watching trackside or whether you're watching at home. So give us everybody a chance. You know, look at Yokohama today working on the tyres. Look at the track guys working on the track after heavy rain. People are working hard. I hope you're enjoying it.
That's right. I think they are. And that right there, Eriksson almost got Doran. You saw him throw it out wide, and it looked like he gripped up, but then Eriksson just couldn't get it done. So there is our grade 8. Pastrana versus Larsson. Fraser McConnell, Fraz is going against Kevin Hansen. The other Hansen bro, Timmy Hansen, going against Steve Arpin. And our final battle in the 8, Scott Speed and Liam Doran. The British bomb. As before we go into our grade 8, Katie Osborne caught up with Fraz.
Yeah, he's down here getting ready, geared up, but the team was working on the car a little bit there. What was going on?
They just wanted to have some fun and, you know, work the nut gun. Nah, I'm joking. They grooved the tires for a rain tire. And we had the sharp edge on the inside, and you want the sharp on the outside, so we just swapped right and left, and, you know, best mechanics in the world.
There you have it, and a lot of the people are attributing your success to your team. What else and why are you so successful out there right now?
See this, yard. Do it for yard. A big burning fire inside of me, and I'm doing it for them.
There you go, guys. That is what everyone needs, is a little passion inside of them.
What do you got?
OMSC yard man Fiesta did it for the yard, and I just Fraus is a great guy. What he's talking about with the tyres, so as a tyre wears, you take the square edge off it. The square edge is what digs into the dirt. This is an anti-clockwise circuit, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the corners are left, only 2 of them are right. So he's rotated the tyres, and he feels that will give him just a little bit more of an edge.
Here we go. Travis Pastrana, Robin Larsson. We talked to both these gentlemen as some races were going down. The 10-second card is up. Who's coming out on top? I mean, think about it. Travis loved it. #1 qualifier. But this is the first battle he's having this weekend because he's only battled himself up until this point. Here we go. Pastrana and Larsson ready to send it here off of the only paved portion of this 97% dirt track. Looks like Pastrana gets the jump. Larsson trying to track him down.
Larsson over the inside line on the exit. He has got alongside, but Travis holds on. Larsson squashes the jump, and TP is very much in front. It was such an even start, Jared, but there was no way around for Larsson. Larsson now maybe going to try the Doran move. He'll have seen that from his teammate. Not enough this time, but he's going to stay right on the trunk of Pastrana.
And Larsson said it. He knows how fast Travis Pastrana, that Subaru, is. He's got some more track time than Larsson because he's been driving side by side as well.
Pastrana clipped the bank there twice on the inside, which is where we saw Ronnie Eriksson hook a wheel on that dirt and get the car pulled around. You just saw the car nudge across the front left corner of the Subaru. Hasn't cost him any time this time round, but he'll maybe try and avoid that bank next lap.
All right, Pastrana, you can see at angle now coming over the hip, and now there goes Robin Larsson into that Joker lap.
Nice. Yeah, the exit was good. He wasn't too early on the throttle. Looking for traction there. What's the gap back between them? 3.5. Yeah, I mean, it's enough right now. So we need to watch this gap and see how quick Larsson is in the Audi on this time. Watch if he sends it in. Let's see if he does a Liam up here or if he goes to something a little bit smoother. They've both got that driving style. He's doing the Liam. Look at the rotation on that. He's brilliant at it, Jared. He's so good at it, but he has lost a couple of tenths to Travis.
Yeah, Travis is just pulling away from it, and I assume his spawner's saying, don't slow down, but just keep it clean. Don't do anything aggressive. Don't get too wild, and don't go too. I mean, it's hard to tell Travis.
I love the fact that Robin had said, my spot was on the radio, goes, slow down, slow down. The other guy's gone off, slow down, please slow down, stop, you're fine. So the spotters have a big amount of influence over the drivers. When you're out there, Travis has taken 3 tenths off him now, so this is job pretty much done. Commentators cursing coming.
Exactly.
But it's managing the psychology of the driver. It was particularly, the weird thing is, when the driver's behind you, you're kind of cool, you know where they are, you can see them in your mirrors. When they joker, now they're 3.5 behind, you're panicking. Are they closing me down or am I pulling away? And you don't know. So your spotter's job is to look at that.
Travis is like, oh, cool.
I can do that.
You guys airing it out, I'm going to do that as well.
Oh, I raised you this, yeah, that's fine, yeah, I'll match you. It was, great stuff. So they'll be on the radio just saying, you've got this, you've not got this, you need to push, you don't. And at the minute, Travis is golden. He's got 4.2. He's lost a tenth over Robin, but I think it's plenty.
Yeah, that is going to be good for Pastrana. He's got a couple more turns here going into
Joker this time around. Look at that drone shot as well. Shout out again. Look at this down the fence along the inside line. Absolutely brilliant drone flying and a great drive from Travis.
And Travis Pastrana will advance on. Remember, he got second in Utah, so he's liking this format, these bracket battles. Pastrana will advance on into the Final Four. Let's take a look at it again. Robin was, he's trying to apply the pressure, but just Pastrana did not crack. But aggressive out of the gate.
So even, look at this, the Audi and the Subaru are side by side, but Travis has got that inside line. He knows he can go deep. Robin actually waited then. I think he was hoping Travis might go deeper. That would have put Robin outside for the hairpin, but if he'd been alongside, maybe there would have been more choice. Now, look, he knows he's going to back it in sideways, hope that Travis runs too deep, but he doesn't.
Yeah, well done, and that was the point where Pastrana just pulled away. Kept going on, but Robin Larsson looks like he's going to be joining Street Bike Tommy down at the Red Bull bar. And that's what he thought he was going to do anyways as he stepped out.
It was great, wasn't he, Robin?
Yeah, Robin.
He was good fun up here. He really was.
You were concerned that you thought he wasn't going to say anything. He's a shy fella.
He's quite shy, Robin.
Right.
He really is quite shy. He's not shy on track. My goodness me, you can see that. But he's a lovely guy. But I also, I wonder if his confidence, just that, this is all new. And Utah didn't go their way. And he said yesterday he didn't go sideways enough because he was cautious of the rollover. You remember last time he got caught in the loose dirt and rolled the car. He's learning the whole time, but he will learn fast. Larsson's a previous European Rallycross champion. He's won a round of the World Championship. He's loving racing here in America, and it's great to have him.
Yeah. All right, so Pastrana, you can see, advances on to the Final Four. He got second in the bracket battles in Utah. We'll see if he can continue or better it here in Minnesota. All right, Kevin Hansen and Fraser McConnell.
Get waves to the crowd.
All right, so Katie, what's the updates with Kevin Hansen?
Well, Kevin Hansen said he'd like to make day one better than he did in Utah. He felt like he took the long way to getting third. He said the start is always important here, especially on tarmac, as that's where he's the most comfortable. And as you can see, he's off and running, knowing that it's about finesse from this point forward.
Fraser McConnell did get the best start. He's been out-dragged here by Hansen in the run in through turn 1 and up to turn 2. Fraser now looks to the inside line, going to go deep on the brakes. He's on the slime. Oh, going to make that pass stick. A little bit of contact between them. I mean, I don't know what I think. He was kind of alongside Jared. He wasn't in the door. There was side-by-side contact. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, he kind of took that line away from Hansen. Overall, was it clean? I want to roll the tape back. I'm sure the officials definitely will. If I'm Hansen, I'm mad. I'm mad.
Nobody likes losing out. No. That's the old thing of, well, no, I don't think that's on at all. And then the other one's, well, I think it's absolutely fine.
Right.
You lose, you don't like it, you win, you do. But I mean, look, he's still got a chance here, Kevin, to try and make it up with strategy. He'd rather win with the strategy anyway than have to go to the stewards.
Really, really flirting with that wall there. And now look at Fraser. He gains more ground. The gap grows, but I'll tell you what, I think Kevin Hansen's really going to gain some ground.
3.2 it is at the moment. Keep an eye on that gap, but it's all about the second corner. We will look back at it. Look how shiny he is up the inside, Jared. The second he was in there, it was like, well, look, he's not going to stop either way. The pass is either on or it's not, but he's definitely not going to stop. So, I mean, I like the fact he did it. We want drivers to do it. No, we want them to try.
Yep. Now, and Fraser, you got to, he's establishing dominance. He's pounding his chest like King Kong, saying, "What's up? I'm here. I'm doing it for the yard." You know what I mean? So.
You love it. I know. What am I doing it for? I'm doing it for yards. Just so good. So good. Right, is Fraser going to respond immediately? He is not. He's going to go on for another lap. Interesting. I might have gone there. He had a 3.5. He got Kevin by another 3/10, and I might have gone immediately, Jared. Yeah. He had the window. Now he's giving Kevin another lap to chase him down.
All right, Fraser, look at that, 3.3 seconds. It's up to 3.5. He knocks some time off it. It's going to be pretty close, and it really depends on how clean Fraser keeps it when he goes in that joker lap. We've seen some of the drivers, including Kevin Hansen. You saw him. He got up on that, on that dirt skirt up there. Look at that, Fraser getting nasty with it.
Fraser comes from that rally background. This narrow piece of road won't worry him at all. He'll be happy to send it in there. 3.5, then 0.3, then 0.2. There's a split coming up just before the top of the hill. So around this right-hander, we'll get another update. That's going to be our last one before we get into Joker. Here we go.
All right, so Fraser coming down. Let's see how he handles this Joker lap here. 3.1 second. It's going to be tight. It's coming down. Who's advancing on? Who's going against Pastrana? Scrubbing a lot of speed, but not enough. As Fraser, look at that back right corner of Kevin Hansen. Looks like he's riding on rim, and he is. So Kevin Hansen, but Fraser from Jamaica continues on and will be going against Pastrana in the Final Four. Let's take a look at it again, and also maybe even roll the tape there between Fraser and Hansen. What do you think? What are your thoughts there?
I've just pushed the door open to race control so I can see Krista, who's already looking at replays up at the far end of the room. They're all laughing in there. I go, well, is it pass on or not? I'm making the pass hand signals here, Jared, at race control, and they're giving me the maybe, when someone gives you the maybe.
The higher the pitch, the voice, the bigger the lie. Here we go. So there it is. Comes in knocking.
I kind of like it.
I mean, I like it.
It's a bit naughty, but
Kevin.
No, but like I said.
It's a bit naughty.
It's a bit naughty. We're pushing the envelope here, but like I say, I want people to go for it. Look, Kevin would go for it, but when you lose out, you don't like it. Yeah, so look, okay, that's it. Yeah, in the wall on the exit there, so that's another couple of tenths. A few little things. I wonder when Kevin pushed that rear right off. It wasn't there. Look, everything's intact at this point.
I think it was just that last lap. Might have been on that landing on the big jump, on the big hip.
Front left fender came off the Peugeot in the contact up on the pass, or was it? No, I think it was. Right. Yeah, unless it was the edge of the Jamaican flag. I mean, there's a lot of yellow on that car. Nah,
All right, still.
They're still shrugging the shoulders in race control.
Still
Come on,
analyzing.
Come on,
analyzing.
Krista, give me a nod. I'm getting a wave from race control. It's not polite, I'm afraid, Jared. It is not polite. No, somebody just told me that they're going to have to wait 1 minute. So, we're waiting. But they're looking at it. They are looking at it. I kind of...
aggressive. You don't mind it.
This rallycross, you know, like if Kevin was rotated and he got into the side of his door, I'd be saying no. It is under review. So it is under review. The result of that one. Let's see.
Investigation.
I like that. That's cool, isn't it? Under investigation. Fraser McConnell, under investigation. This is CSI.
Right. There's Fraz. There he is. All right, so again, let's look at it again. Good jump from Fraz. You see Kevin, so again, door to door. No contact at this point. You'll see Fraz swipe left. Little contact on that back right. And then dives in. You see Fraz is on the brakes. And like you said, momentum and going in there, I think he probably would have tried to have been tighter, but taking that line, you're setting yourself up to be a shuffleboard.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. I'm seeing it again. It's
Oh,
here we go. It's another angle. You know, like I said, it's a little bit naughty, but it's kind of. I just like the fact. Look, so he's a long.
Birdie.
Watch the wheels. Are his wheels locked up? That's a good one.
No.
So if all his wheels were locked up and he was a passenger into Kevin, I'd be saying out of order. No way he would have made the turn without Kevin there. Of course, he's gone deep. He has gone deep, but often in the past you go deep. That's a really tough one for the stewards to call. Sometimes I think it's pretty obvious, Jared, but that's a tough one for me. It's an aggressive, assertive move from Fraser from a fair way back on a slippery track. Kevin won't like it. Would Kevin have tried it himself? Probably.
So we're seeing it on the bracket. Don't know if it's official just yet. We'll get clear. We'll get a clear decision if it's reversed or we're okay. And we can see our next battle as Andrew, you're getting an update over here. We see Timmy Hansen and Steve Arpin. What's the update?
The update is it's a 5-second penalty for Fraser McConnell. We just had that from Race Control, which is literally in the room next door to us. So Fraser McConnell was penalised for that move, and it is Kevin Hansen who will go through from the previous race. So look, you know what? Everybody loves a trier. I don't know what you guys think about the move with Fraz there. We still want to see people go for it on this occasion. Not allowed.
So elaborate just quickly on that. So Fraser finishes, but 5 seconds added. That means that Kevin Hansen
is in front of him. Yeah. So you don't disqualify him for it. It's not a black flag situation. He's not fired him off into the rail or anything really harsh. Yeah. Then you might DQ him. At which point, I don't know. You could take further action against him later. But the 5 seconds basically just sticks him behind. You look at the finish clocks for the two. You add 5, and it just puts Fraz behind him. So Kevin goes through.
All right. So Kevin Hansen will now go against Travis Pastrana, unfortunately, and he's still smiling regardless. Crush a banana. So as next up, Timmy Hansen, Steve Arpin, and then of course Scott Speed and Liam Doran. The battles continue here. Nitro Rallycross here at ERX.
In 2018, Nitro Rallycross took the racing world by storm with the biggest jumps, the best drivers, and the most intense action ever. In 2021, Nitro Rallycross is expanding with 5 epic races. From the mountains to the Great Lakes, the desert, and the Sunshine State, Nitro Rallycross is coming to a racetrack near you. Nitro Rallycross, the series, revving up and taking off this September.
I'm Kevin Hansen, I'm from Sweden, Lidköping, and this is the smallest rallycross team in the world, but we are also the best rallycross team in the world.
Kevin's in full confidence mode here, flicking the car from left to right. Here we go, watch the big jump, look up to the crest, you can hear the limiter.
It's created by me, my brother, my mom and dad, and we are running the team together, and we have 5 mechanics and 2 engineers, and that's all.
Kevin Hansen just put in a super tidy lap test. He's running the car out wide.
And we do this, you know, by the passion, by the heart, and by the fire for the love of the rallycross that we have.
It's in 4 corners.
And we're talking about the guys in the back. Meanwhile, Kevin Hansen, Travis Pastrana, Patrick Sandell, our top 3.
This track is the most insane one I've ever driven. It's just like a roller coaster or a video game.
Kevin Hansen is going to win your 2019 Nitro Rallycross. That's what a champion looks like, folks, and he's got a long, long career ahead of him.
Nitro Rallycross is not just a premier racing league, it's a big event. So if you show up in person, there's much more to it than just cars and racing and stuff like that. It's great for your family and also your belly, because guess what? Food trucks. Hey, Lena! Oh my God! Oh my God, you are amazing. That looks so perfect. Did you make it the way I like it?
I know, yeah, I know how you like it. You have to try it. How is it?
Oh my God. That's amazing as always.
Thank you.
Taco Madre, come see us at the food truck court. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
More racing. Yeah. Back to you guys.
He's so polite. Dude. I love it. So, and the sad thing is, Tommy won't even share that with us. That's huge. And he's going to house the whole thing. When we landed yesterday at the airport, we went to a burger spot. He ordered the mac and cheese. He ordered an extra thing of fries. He ate it all himself. No, I'm joking. He did not.
He's so polite. I love it. He's desperately trying to get the food out of his mouth. He's like, I appreciate you so much. Lovely. What a nice guy.
All right, Street Bike Tommy giving us some insight on the festivities that happen here. As my name is Jared Dienda, Andrew Coley on my side, as well as down in the pits, Katie Osborne. And as you just saw, Street Bike Tommy enjoying the food, the people. He is a man of the people, Street Bike Tommy. As we have our next battle here, and this is Timmy Hansen versus Steve Arpin. What are your expectations here? What do you got?
Arpin's on a run of form. Yeah, both these guys were on the podium last weekend. They're P1 and P2. In theory, they're our top 2 guys really at the moment. Katie, I think, has had a chat with Steve Arpin or something about Steve Arpin just from a moment ago.
That his start is extremely important here, as he hasn't been very quick on the light, but he's had good launches.
All right, here we go. So Hansen gets the jump on Arpin.
Didn't work out that time, unfortunately.
No, it did not.
Going to go wide. Arpin's alongside now. Timmy will try and keep the door shut. Steve is on it. Steve now is up in front of Timmy. Going to try and shut the door on him. Timmy avoids the K-rail. Great pass by Arpin.
Yeah, look at Arpin. Absolutely flying. I've deemed him the Canadian Cowboy years ago at GRC, and now here he is. Look at this, Arpin and Hansen.
That is a great pass, Jared. Yeah, Timmy Hansen is the 2019 World Rallycross champion. I think he leads the standings this year. Yeah, he's one of the top drivers in Extreme E, in World Rallycross. Yeah, Arpin does not have the same experience as Timmy. Timmy's going to go Joker, and Arpin will need to now watch that clock. I definitely wouldn't give Timmy 2 laps. No. I'll shut him down on the next lap, but Steve now needs 1 clean lap with no mistakes, and he can hold on to this.
And speaking of clean, Timmy Hansen's Joker lap was absolutely flawless. really well done. Kept it off the wall and carried a lot of speed through there. Threw a little flick at it and just exited out. Very, very well done, Hansen.
I think Timmy's a bit of a different driver. Since winning the World Championship a couple of years ago, it's like that pressure's gone. He's won the very big title. He can't, look, I'm cool. If something's wrong, I'll drive around it. You know, who wants it all perfect if you can get it? But it's not so intense as it was before. It's I must have everything perfect, otherwise I can't do it. It's like, I've done it. I've been there. I've been at the top. So, yeah, Timmy is one always to watch. But I am really impressed by Steve Arpin. But this gap is tight, Jared. 2.8, is it going to be enough?
You know, right now, if he goes in, he's got to do it. He's got to execute really well. And here he goes. He goes into the Yokohama Tires Joker lap. And here comes Hansen, and it is enough. Arpin is on fire right now.
Arpin was brilliant. He rotated that car so hard. I reckon he used the handbrake in the Joker there. He really got into it, pulled the car in hard. The gap was coming down, 2.8, 2.7. He was under a lot of pressure from Timmy, who airs it out in the background, trying to close down that Hyundai. The Hyundai's one of the best cars in the world at the minute. Jussi Pinamaki, who runs that car, is spotting for Steve. And Steve has got a car underneath him that he likes, Jared. Look at the way he runs it down here. Look at it. Look at it.
He is flying. I mean, he looks like a stage rally driver there.
Yes, that's what I mean. The confidence.
The confidence, as you say, from getting second place in Utah. Here he comes in. He's got a brand new baby. He's firing on all cylinders in more ways than one.
He's got two brand new babies. One of them's at home with his wife, and the other one he's driving right now. You know, brand new car.
But look at this. Don't count out Timmy Hansen just yet. Both of them have hit the Joker lap, and here we go. One more turn and burn. Who's going to come out on top? Steve Arpin, the Canadian cowboy. Let it ride. As look at that, Arpin comes out on top. Really well done. I mean, I really like the Doran Eriksson battle. That was fun, but I think right now, Arpin is one to watch. Just the way he's driving is absolutely on point.
The car looks great, Jared. Yep. That's the other thing. The car looks really, really good. So off the start here, he loses outlook. He's on the outside line. So he gives that up immediately and cuts to the inside for the exit. He actually finds the traction that others haven't. Well, certainly gets the line off the jump here. And he's fully alongside Timmy when they reach the hairpin. This is the move, look. Timmy just gets the tiniest bit deep. Arpin is inside him with perfect traction. And he squeezes Timmy towards the wall. Nothing untoward. Timmy's not going to touch that wall. He knows it'd be game over if he does. That was great racecraft. Super clean pass. Brilliant drive by Arpin.
And I think Hansen played the strategy of like, oh, okay, you know, this is bracket battles. There's a point at stake, maybe a couple more. But it's safer. Play it safe so you get live to see another day.
I actually think
tomorrow.
Timmy as well would have thought that going Joker, that giving him a lap, Jared, that he would have had enough time to catch up with Steve, and he did close him down by a couple of tenths. But Steve's Joker for me was brilliant as well. He went in there hard on the bar. You know, you got a wall outside you. He went in there with confidence. He braked late. He turned the car in, and he got the exit as well. So that's a great drive by Steve. But he's got a car underneath him that to me looks extraordinarily good today. Is that the best car out there right now?
Yeah, that big booter over the hip and through the woods. Arpin went not to Grandma's house, but to the checkered flag. It was really well done overall by Steve Arpin. I mean, look at you see how Hansen's car was sliding. Arpin just gripped up.
Got traction. Look at the exit traction he had out of that hairpin up at the far end. He was on the inside line, dusty, and he just got away.
Well, congratulations to Arpin, and let's now go down to Katie, who's with Pastrana.
Yeah, right now, Travis Pastrana is stoked. You are lit right now. You're just actually congratulating Steve as he was kind of making his way. But really, what's the excitement all about?
Dude, Arpin, I mean, come on. This is awesome. We got jumps. We got stuff that makes it different. We always go over there to Europe, and we get our butts kicked. Americans, he's half American. He's half citizen, whatever, North American. But to see him beat, in my opinion, probably the best driver in the world on this track, took it to him, got by. Like, this is awesome. That's what I love to see. And Steve, I hope to see you in the final, man. This is going to be good.
Well, there you go. You can't beat that. Travis Pastrana excited. Man, the crowd's loving it over here.
We had Travis up in the commentary box earlier, and I was sick because he threatened to ban the Swedes after they won the first year. He's like, I'm just going to ban the Swedes. I was pretty sure Sandell was up there with them as well. It was like just Swedes everywhere. Yep. We said, are you going to ban them? He's like, no, we're going to beat them. And you can see how stoked he is on, yeah, we're getting there. We're bagging Arpin because he is an American citizen, isn't he now, Steve? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're taking that.
You know what? Travis doesn't like Swedes so much he doesn't shop at IKEA. That's how much he doesn't like this. I'm joking, obviously, but they're fierce competitors. Scott Speed, Liam Doran, two very aggressive drivers. I have to think Liam is going to absolutely hammer down. You saw the styling entries. Is that going to pay off versus a very clean and tidy Scott Speed? Here we go, Doran and Speed, our last battle in the grade 8. Who's going to get the jump? Scott Speed, look at that there, door to door, entering in. Look at Doran.
He's made it work. He's made it work around the outside. That's the first time we've seen that, Jared. Nobody has made that line work. The landing is butter. Doran has done a brilliant job. Watch for Speed, though. Is he going to try in the pass? Liam goes for the standard savage maxed RPM, back it in, and he just holds on.
That was close. I mean, there might be a little purple paint on the front end of Scott Speed's Subaru. And Doran, look at him, using all of the track, going right to left, diving in, carrying momentum, and he doesn't air it out. Keeps it just more traditional race line there.
Liam's got to watch out here because Scott's got better speed to me. So if you look at the hairpin, Scott closed him down. If you look at the exit to the sweeper, Scott's closed him down. So Liam, I'm confident that Scott will go on this lap, and Liam will need to respond immediately. He's got to have a perfect lap on the next one. Yeah, okay, cool. So now this lap's got to be perfect, and Liam's got to go straight back.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at that big WRX, the STI here. You know, you see it go in. But, wow, so Doran and Speed getting after it. So Doran about 3.1 seconds. Look at this. I'm very surprised at this. Yeah. Look at this. We're shaking things up. Scott Speed won the bracket battle in Utah.
6/10 in one sector. Scott Speed's gone 6/10 quicker. Liam has got to hang on to this. 2.5 might just be enough, Jared. We saw it was just enough in earlier races, but this is going to be super tight at the merge. Doran has to go this lap because Speed is closing him down again. He's taken another couple of tenths off him. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, and Doran, you can see him on the high line. He had a lot of angle there. Speed is gaining ground. Look at that speed. He's got fire in his eyes.
The car just looks great, doesn't it, again? So Doran's going to go Joker, surely, and he doesn't. I would have gone because you're already losing time. You might as well go for it and then be on his tail. And now he's going to leave it to the last lap. Yeah, I'd have gone.
Yeah, I know. They weren't listening to you both. The RX cartel do not like listening to you.
Mate, the RX cartel, they don't listen to anyone.
You're against the cartel.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. But you don't go against the cartel. But, they don't listen to anyone.
So Liam Doran takes his signature line there around that hairpin. Now coming in through that stage rally section. Love that berm there in the middle. Reminds me of like the New Zealand stage rally. Those berms, the dirt grass berms. So Liam Doran, what do you got?
He's got him by another 10th. So Doran's actually taken a 10th back off Speed. So this is a great lap from the British bomb coming round the right-hander now. Scott Speed chasing him down. Keep your eyes on that purple and black Audi. He's going to slide off to the right-hand side now. And then it's going to be a battle between him and Scott to the line.
Do you see that? He scrubbed some speed here. Going into Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and Scott Speed makes the pass. It came down to the Joker, and Speed just pausing, waiting. Strikes.
He just hunted him down, didn't he? When we were riding on board the drone with the Subaru, Scott just looked like he was tidy and biding his time. I definitely would have responded on the lap before. Unfortunately, I'm not actually sure it would have been enough, even if he'd gone on lap 2.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was that split was about 1.8, 1.9, so I'd say the Joker, sized it up about 2.5 seconds.
So we've got Speed versus Arpin and Pastrana versus Kevin Hansen, and we could end up with Pastrana versus Speed in the final again, as we had last time in Utah. Great move by Liam to hold on around the outside like that. It was absolutely incredible, Jared. It really was.
And here's the first Joker lap as Scott Speed went in early, obviously taking it down on the first lap.
He was always going to. If you lose out, you can do what Travis did and race it out in Utah, but at the minute the track width is maybe not quite enough to get that done. He's run the berm around the whole of the outside there, didn't even stick the nose in tight to the apex, but he's gone around and then he just starts to chase him down. That was where you said he checked up a little bit in the centre of the hairpin, but Liam, not enough time to respond, and he's gone. But better by Liam, better by Larsson.
Yep.
So both those guys made it further into the draw than they have done the previous week. Yep. They both got a point on the board for the cartel, which is that confident. Wasn't it interesting to hear Robin go? You were like, what was the target? And he said the target was just to win one battle because we didn't win any last week. And so next, targets that you can achieve. Yeah, something to push for.
Yeah. So here's our final four: Pastrana versus Hansen, Arpin versus Speed. And a gentleman who is not in the final four is with Katie Osborne.
Yeah, and Jared, he said, it is what it is, and that's exactly what his mentality has to be is you have to focus for tomorrow. But taking it back a little bit, what happened from your point of view?
I saw a gap and took it. It was there to be taken, and put the car. It was more than a car length width, and got in there very easily, very fair. And the steward's decision is what it is, and still having a lot of fun out there. But really feeling a little disappointed in the penalty. But representing, and I gave it my all out there on the track, and finally found the speed I wanted to, and yeah, can't complain. Two-time Jamaican Driver of the Year. You're learning and you're adapting in these cars, but this track is a beast, different than what you've ever had. How much fun is it? It's crazy. Yesterday was supposed to be jump practice, but we got 4 laps in, and half of the track is blind. You're going over these big hills, and sometimes the car is flying, sometimes it's not. You need to figure out the right speed, and even my first lap out there, I think it was on the Nitro Instagram, I really thought I slowed down enough, but next thing I know, I'm just in the air for like 2 seconds. So that wasn't so fun. But now we know what to do. We're very fast out there now, very confident, and I'm going to brush this one off and go full attack tomorrow.
All right, wishing you the best. Fast, confident, and a 5-second penalty, but hey, guys, he's still smiling.
Well, Fraz still having some fun, and overall, these drivers, they're seeing Nitro Rallycross for the first time, but let's hear their perspective, what Nitro Rallycross means to them.
What do I love most about rally? Well, competition.
Rallycross is the most intense, exciting, and adrenaline-filled motorsport in the world.
Short, compact races, not too long distance. People are going straight up into your door. They'll push you offline.
And you don't get any other speeds and close door-to-door action in the world.
I want to be able to fly. I want to be able to slide.
Having the big jumps, having the different lines to the strategy.
If we can take stage rally with all the jumps, the off-cambers, the berms, the crazy situations, and we can put it into an arena, we're literally tracks that thrill and cars that fly.
Welcome back as we are about to see our side-by-side final here at round 2 of Nitro Rallycross, and there you have it. On the front row, Tanner Foust and Kyle Cheney. Then you have Andrew Carlson. I mean, he's built this track. Let's see how he throws down in his Razor. Scotty Lawrence, Brian Deegan, and Jack Letourneau. Then you got Andy Eyes and Jason LeBerg. And then you got Corey Weller and Katie Munnings bringing up the rear.
The one Brit in the pack there, Jared.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, real quick, Katie Osborne, you got an update?
Yeah, Brian Deegan said what he's learned so far by watching is mistakes are so easily made and this race is so short. So he said he's not going to be holding anything back and it's going to be full send. One area, though, to watch for Brian Deegan is turn 1. He says he keeps bicycling it, and so they made some adjustments so he's a better platform, but that's going to be his focus throughout today.
Right on, yeah. So as Deegan, again, he didn't lose money to Travis Brown. Here we go. Let's see how Foust. Does Foust get the jump? No, he does not. The 34. Actually, yeah, Foust does get the jump. I'm so used to the gold livery, that's why. Black up there. So Tanner Foust gets the jump and gets that whole shot.
Yeah, he does. So Foust has got it done off the start. I'm keen to see what Deegan does in the background, because Deegan was so good last time. He's gone around the outside of the Monster Engine. Livery, and Deegan straight up, almost into P2. Deegan is in P3 now, and I'm pretty sure it's Cheney that's in P2.
It is Cheney got sideways, threw up a roadblock, and you can't go anywhere. So everybody went the side of Cheney as Deegan takes the higher line. Tanner Foust out front. So Foust, Cheney, Deegan, and who is that sliding into 4th? I believe that's Carlson.
Yeah, it's Carlson. Almost got Deegan there, but Deegan had that right-hand line. And this is what we said about earlier, Jared, about choosing your line right from the top end. It's that big jump. Are you inside or outside for the next corner? And Deegan had made that work as we see Carlson go Joker. So Carlson, the first driver to go Joker from P4 and come back in P4. That's a great move. That is really strong now. So he's right up in that top pack and he's already Jokered.
Look at Cheney absolutely chomping at the bit, getting on the tailpipe with Tanner Foust. And like you said, Carlson looks like jumps back to 5th, but the only driver to take that Joker lap. Lap 2 of 6. Now we have expanded to 6 laps as opposed to the 4 in semifinal heats.
Cheney's looking quick, but Cheney may have one eye back on Carlson, trying to see where Carlson's ended up actually, because Ives seems to be up into P4, so if Carlson had a problem or not. Foust goes low, Cheney goes high, and that looks to have gained a couple of car lengths. So maybe that inside lane is coming in. Cheney landed on the front, wheels down, and Deegan is now catching up to these front two as well. So Brian Deegan with a dial, the shocks in a little bit. Watch the cars through turn one, Jared, when they're talking about bicycling. That's not a phrase we've heard much in. And Deegan goes Joker in Europe. What they mean is that they're going on two wheels, and because of the way the cars are digging into the loose dirt, so they're actually going up on their outside two wheels. See if we can see it here with any of these cars as they come through. And obviously, if you go too far when you bicycle, you roll the car.
Yeah. You can see Deegan a little timid there and hesitant going to that turn one where he got into a Cheney, swings it wide, and look at that, just slides right to the side of Tanner Foust. But Tanner Foust knows that Cheney is right there nipping at his heels. Deegan currently in third, but also has the Joker lap, so 3.95 seconds. That is a lot of time. Oh, look at that, Cheney going for a pass on the outside.
So they're coming up to the big jump now. You're looking down at Deegan on the outside. Now we're back with the leaders, Foust and Cheney. Wait for Deegan to come into the back of this shot. How far back is he? I think he's lost a bit of time. 4.1 back. Wow. You could joke. If I were Cheney now, I'd be looking to Joker because there's time. And Foust goes. Great move. So Foust has gone early. That's not really covering off. Yeah, it is. I was going to say, if he hadn't have gone, if I were Cheney, I'd have gone 100%. So Foust could have dummied him there. If you can fake the guy into going Joker and he has to change his mind, he loses half a second and you can get it done. Yeah,
you really got to commit to that Joker lap because you could, add more seconds onto that time slip. All right, so Cheney brings it around the peninsula there, and Tanner Foust, look at that, almost 2 seconds back. And Deegan 4 seconds back from Cheney.
1.9 is the gap between 2.1. Cheney's taken 2/10 out of Tanner Foust. Tanner Foust, though, has come more nicely through the low line than Cheney. I reckon we might see that gap go back the other way when they come up the hill towards the hairpin. Let's see what it is. It was 2.1. Gone up by 4/10 and wrong. So Cheney's absolutely flying. So maybe Joker now if you're Cheney. No, holds on. Going to go last lap, last couple of laps. Yeah, good move.
All right, so Kyle Cheney continues on here. And, oh, look at that. Just
bicycle big time, Jared. Had to correct the car to settle it back down again. Has that lost him any time, or is he bulletproof at the minute? Because he was looking pretty bulletproof, made a mistake before, and still had the pace, backs it in. Scotty Lawrence said to me, look, Cheney's quick, he's going to be faster. Tanner's run a little bit deep there. That's maybe going to cost him just a little bit of time.
Kyle Cheney still out front, Foust 2.9, and Deegan losing some more ground as well. The fight for third between Deegan and Carlson, that's heating up.
Yeah, it's tight between them. They've just got all different alternate lines from the announcing booth. We can see Cheney's going to have to go Joker either this or the next lap. Is he going to hold on? 2.8 is the gap. Going to wait for the last lap.
Last lap, yep. So Kyle, this is the white flag is out. One more lap.
Watch for the bicycling here as he comes into the corner. So this time it was fine. Previous lap it was up on two wheels.
Oh, somebody.
Yes, the side of the track. It looks like it's either Latourna or LeBerg has got a car parked on the side of the track. The other one's parked on the alternate line on the run down from here. You'll see one parked on the right-hand side. A little bit of contact probably on that first lap, costing somebody a drive shot. But final lap, Cheney versus Foust, 3.0 in it.
Yeah, 3.09 seconds between Cheney and Foust. So we'll see how that Yokohama Tire Joker lap plays a role here. Can Tanner Foust close that gap a little more? No, he doesn't. 3.2 now. Cheney is possessed. Kyle is putting the vehicle in all the right places. Look at this. Now coming down, a couple more turns for Cheney.
Great drive. 3.4 seconds up the road. No mistakes made. Runs it up the berm on the outside line, but it's Cheney who's going to win the first side-by-side race here for Nitro Rallycross. Tanner Foust double driving this weekend, both days. Foust gets P2. Who was it against?
And Carlson gets third. So Carlson edged out Brian Deegan with just a few laps to go. So Deegan outside looking in.
Home
some
podium.
Great racing. I mean, yeah, so look at that. Cheney, Foust, and Carlson. Deegan sits in fourth. Some great racing. A great debut for side-by-sides in Nitro Rallycross. Remember, they have an independent round both today and then into tomorrow. Looks like the 714 there. Parked to the side. That was very early on. That was in the lap one. So the side-by-sides exiting out. Congratulations to our podium finishers. And taking a look at our schedule, this is how it started. Some great racing, but Tanner Foust all signs were saying it was going to be him, but Cheney just got cleaner and cleaner with the lines.
Yeah, Foust had the pole, you know, from the qualifying situation, but yeah, Cheney just looked super quick. Actually nudged into the back, so he got hooked up on Tanner there. The front left rode up Tanner, and that was what caused the hold-up in turn one. I did wonder if that was going to be enough time for Tanner just to check out and drive off down the road, but it wasn't. Cheney hunted him down. Tanner dummied and jokered earlier than we thought he might, and Cheney just stayed out there, brought it home right the way to lap 6 before going joker.
Yeah, some really great racing. I mean, great debut of side-by-side. Would you agree, Andrew?
I think so, and look, I think this is a great support category for Rallycross here in the States. You know, over in Europe, we've got a bunch of support categories which are pretty good value for money, and that's what's important. Is these kids who are coming through, they're not all loaded, you know. So, and you know, we all know motorsport's not cheap. But I tell you what, side-by-sides are really reasonable. So you find yourself a small sponsor, go and do a local series, and we need that. We're getting the tracks. Nitro Rallycross is giving you guys what the heritage that you need to build the sport from the ground up. If you've got no drivers coming up from the bottom, you're not going to get it done. You know, what are we going to see from Cheney? Might we see Cheney step up to Supercar at some point, or maybe put some next appearances in? This is a great footprint for the bottom level of the sport, and you know, along with Sierra cars, we need those entry-level categories.
Yep. So Kyle Cheney takes it. Tanner Foust second. And as I said, Andrew Carlson, I mean, he's built this track. Him and his family, you know, they operate this place. So congratulations to our podium finishers here. And again, they'll all do it, re-rack them again tomorrow for some more side-by-side. But that's our side-by-side final for today here, round 2 of Nitro Rallycross at ERX. All right, and here are the overall results, 1 through 9. And a couple DNFs there from Letourneau and LeBerg, but Deegan barely gets edged out by Andrew Carlson. And the ladies, Corey Weller, Katie Munnings.
P6, P7. Good, isn't it? Nicely done.
All right, well, as we wrap up our side-by-side, throw it down to Katie Osborne.
A lot of fun down here. Kyle Cheney definitely pulled in the win there, the first side-by-side here at Nitro Rallycross. But first, you had to hold off some legends within the sport. Got to take us through that. When you started having that target on the back, how did you stay cool, calm, and collected?
Yeah, I mean, Tanner was driving awesome, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to pass him, and he took the Joker lane. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to wait till the end and see if I can get a little gap, and I'd get a little bit, and he'd gain it back, and I'd get a little bit, he'd gain it back. I'm like, all right, I got to really push this last lap, and it was pretty close there at the end, but man, it was awesome racing. These guys drive awesome. It's just great to be here. My Can-Am worked perfect. Just happy to be up here for sure.
That moment you capitalized, what was going on in your mind?
Like I said, I mean, I capitalized, but he took the Joker lane, so I knew I still had to take it, and I knew I had to make up some time. So I just wanted to, stay cool, calm, and collected, and hit my marks and hit my lap, or hit my marks every lap, and it ended up working.
It absolutely ended up working, but it did take a little bit there in turn 1, turn 2. You had to navigate your way. How'd you do it?
Like I said, my Can-Am worked great. Evo Power Sports tunes, Metal FX wheels. I got thanks to Yokohama for supplying us all tires this weekend. Even though I am a Maxxis racer, but just thank the whole crew, everybody that helps me out, and thanks to the NRX series for putting on this great event. Hopefully they can have side-by-sides at more of them.
All right, congratulations, the first winner here in the side-by-side at Nitro Rallycross. I'll let you celebrate now with all the guys.
Thank you, Katie. Congratulations, once again there to Kyle, and we're going to take a short break because we're going to do some track maintenance. And as there we go, look at that, receiving. Oh, got some sunnies there, bro. Looking good. Look at Tanner Foust joining him up there. Tanner's going to smile. And then Andrew Carlson there, throwing on some shades. There you go, boys. Got some Pit Vipers on, and Pit Viper's going to be providing some fun as we come back. We're going to continue on with the party that is Nitro Rallycross. Congratulations, 1, 2, and 3 for our debut of side-by-side here at Nitro Rallycross. When we come back, we're going to be seeing more of our Supercar battle brackets.
Nitro Circus is back with the action-packed You Got This tour. Top athletes in FMX, skate, BMX, scooter, and more are ready to get the party started, throwing down huge world's firsts with more crazy contraptions, more insane stunts, and more high adrenaline fun than ever before. Get ready, because we're coming to a city near you.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Get your tickets now at nitrocircus.com. Nitro RX is brought to you by Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. Subaru. Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. And by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
The American fans are crazy. They love a good action, and they are so hyped to see cars flying in the air lap by lap.
The fans will travel. Like, fans will come from a long way. They love this sport. They get right into it.
For me to be excited as a driver, I can't imagine what the fans are going to be like when they see the cars flying, 100-foot gap jump.
I have my fan base, but I want to expand it, and I don't think there's any better place to do it than NRX at the moment.
I know in the States there are so many fans waiting to see us go in action.
The Jamaican vibes are going to be there in full effect. It's not a far flight from home, and there's a lot of Jamaicans living in the US, so.
The vibe you get, the power you get, going in the cars, hearing people roar and scream. When you jump in the seat with that feeling in your spine, it's amazing.
The Army's going to be out in full force, and you'll see us.
It's not all about the drivers down here. I'm sitting here with two super fans. What's your name, sir?
Tony.
And
Jake.
Jake. So this is a family affair, father and son.
Absolutely.
And you've been a fan of Nitro and action sports for a long time.
Oh my God, long time.
What's your involvement in stuff?
Well, back in the day, used to race three-wheelers, 200Xs, back in the early 80s.
When they were legal?
When they were legal, right? Right? Mm-hmm. My son Jake, got him a little 50 when he was like 6 years old, a little Honda 50. Ripped that around a little bit.
So just generational awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are you up to these days?
Coming out to Nitro racing, checking things out, gonna have a good time.
Yeah, you guys excited about the series and like being like a Nitro premier racing series?
Oh my God, I took Jake when it was freestyle motocross, Tony Hawk when he had that when he was little. Yeah. Tony came zipping by us, Jake got to slap his hand.
That's so
watched freestyle
rad.
motocross all the way up.
Heck yeah.
Here we are.
Well, I love the energy, guys. I love the energy. You're going to be out there just screaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we love our fans here, and tune in for more action. Back to you guys.
Great to see the fans out here at ERX Motor Park. Fantastic to hear their enthusiasm for this brilliant sport as well. Rallycross, of course, been around a decade in the States, but another restart with Nitro Rallycross. 2018 and 19, we started with this down in Utah. Now we are up for a series. And it's just fantastic to see a big crowd here for round 2 of NRX. And my name's Andrew Cody. Jared Deanna's going to be here in any moment now. Katie Osborne and Street Bike Tommy down in the paddock reporting for us today. We're coming towards the final stage of our battles. Going to find out who's going to be the top qualifier today here on day 1. Of course, that's going to set the grids for tomorrow when we go heat racing, semi-finals, O'Reilly's last chance qualifier, and then on to the finals. Who's going to win round 2 of Nitro Rallycross? Some good spots. Some people over on the far side there in the trees. Got a good view of the back straight. The rain's gone away. I think I might be able to see a few adult beverages over there as well. Looks like a good day to me. Supercar Battles round 3 coming up. Then we've got the NRX Next final. And then Supercar Battles final as well. So just the semis to come. We've got Pastrana versus Kevin Hansen. Arpin versus Speed. Are we going to see Speed and Pastrana up against each other as we did last week in Utah? Is Speed going to take that spot again?
Did a cheap knife and a cheap flashlight? No, you didn't.
I know what he said, but it looks like he's having a good time. That's fine. It's all good. Yokohama in the background there. They've been doing some sterling work this weekend, getting the tyres sorted. Beautiful venue as well here. We're in Elk River, Minnesota, close to Minneapolis. Very, very different from where we were last week, which was an equally cool place to go, I have to say. Fantastic venues. Of course, we're heading to Arizona, then down to California and across to Florida for the final round of the season. Can't wait. Well, it's a brilliant, first time ever that this is a series, 5 events instead of a one-off. This was Travis Pastrana's idea. He wanted to see Rallycross grow. He wanted to do Rallycross 2.0. Let's hear from the man himself.
Who am I? He's the crazy guy on TV.
He's a great competitor.
Action hero like.
Travis Pastrana to me is a legend and a super brain in jumps.
Watching Travis Pastrana's backyard on YouTube, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've watched it, pretending to jump in the foam pit at home.
Just an ultra-friendly guy with a crazy vision who's surprisingly calculated.
Travis is fun, he's vibrant, and he's crazy.
And who can't like Travis Pastrana? Can live forever.
Well, you know what? Travis Pastrana is a guy that many of us know. I'm hearing that America's Got Talent Extreme is going to be in your future as well.
What, sorry?
America's Got Talent Extreme.
No, really excited. Actually, that's going to be fun, but I'm going to try to think about this. It's always a Hansen around every corner, so this is a big race.
That's exactly what we were talking about with Travis, is the fact that he's going to be up against one of these Hansens, one of these Swedes that you were talking about. Meanwhile, this week, Kevin Hansen, on the other hand, they got a chance to go hiking. They decompressed a little bit. They celebrated his dad's birthday on Wednesday. So it is a balance between celebrity stuff that Travis Pastrana's doing and Kevin Hansen, who is R&Ring it this week.
Thank you so much, Katie. Again, talking about, I don't know if you saw that, Travis Pastrana is going to be a judge on America's Got Talent Extreme.
With Simon Cowell. I was like, this is wild. He's everywhere. It's brilliant.
Exactly, it's great. All right, so Pastrana and Hansen, Arpin and Speed. That is our final 4. Who's going to come out on top? Remember, we still have our next car as well. So we got our Supercar battle brackets. We have our next final. Do a little more track maintenance, and then we got Supercar battle brackets, final round. So it should be awesome. And this is just today. We'll get you home by dinner time. There is a dedicated autograph session at 5 o'clock. If you're in the building, I know Chico's got some tires and stuff over at Subaru. All the fans coming out here and meeting, high-fiving, handshaking, kissing babies, shaking hands. Andrew, the track is just coming to life. It's kind of the big brown monster here that has just transformed, right? It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, you can see we've got a great drone shot going on here. It gives you an idea of what we talked about earlier about the color of the dirt. Look on the outside line here, and you can see the dirt's pretty thick and still a bit damp, but the line is getting wider and wider. Some places it is now like a full 5-6 lanes wide. We've got the various bits of track kit out there which are scraping stuff out, smoothing it off, and they'll work super hard tonight to make sure it's ready for tomorrow. We haven't got any rain forecast overnight, so we should expect to come in tomorrow and find the track in pretty much... Look, we've even got Blue Groove coming in. There you go. You can see on the right-hand side there. So
right.
Yokohama did a great job getting the tyres ready for today. We appreciate the work those guys put in. The testing from Bakkerud and Subaru in the middle of the day. It's what I mean about everybody working just to make sure you guys have a good time, and they worked really hard today. So show them some love if you're leaving the venue, and it's going to be awesome to see the end of the battles.
Yeah, and speaking of Yokohama, here's a piece on just the story and the legacy that is the Yokohama tire brand.
From across the deserts to the mountains and countless racetracks in between, Yokohama Tire has a storied history in advancing drivers to new levels. Originating in the motorsports department in 1978, the Advan brand of Yokohama has spent over 4 decades allowing drivers to take their vehicles beyond what they thought was possible. While there is an endless amount of science and technology that goes into each tire, in the end, it's the connection between the driver and the tire.
With fancy cars like you get in Nitro Rallycross, you get a lot of super technical things. They're loud, they have huge amount of horsepower, but in any machine, the thing that connects the machine to the road are the tires.
And it's awesome when you have a tire that gives you maximum grip, but when everything's about to let loose, you know you got it.
Going over big jumps like this, bank corners, fast corners, Yokohama tires is what's got our back.
Nitro Rallycross and its drivers will start the next chapter in the Advan Tires legacy.
All right, welcome back. There are the Yokohama Tires flags a-flying, and you know, they flew their flag high today. You know, there was speculation on just, you know, coming in with those kind of mildly grooved slicks, hardened slicks, but then putting in some grooves into them, everything's working out. Everything's coming up Millhouse here. As, again, like you said, relatively tomorrow the track should be relatively similar to this, but just in the morning you get a little bit of dew and condensation here, so it could be a little moist in the morning, but I think it'll dry out and just progress as we've seen throughout today.
Yeah, if it gets a little bit damp, it doesn't matter. That helps us with the dust, you know. So this is the perfect dirt for this kind of racing. It's just heavy rain overnight was not what anybody had ordered for this weekend, especially not for everybody who's watching trackside. But yeah, great job by the track crews, great job by Yokohama, and I think we're looking good for tomorrow.
And on the grid, you could see two drivers. That is Travis Pastrana and Kevin Hansen. And Andrew, you've been talking about just how much affinity Travis has for Hansen's and generally just the Swedes.
The Swedes, they've been winning a little bit too much, you know, for Travis's liking, but he's only joking. You know, he wants the best guys in the world here, but he also wants to beat them, and I get that. He says, we go to Europe and we get our asses whooped. You know, he said, we want them to come over here and we want to give it back. And that hasn't happened so far. The Hansens are undefeated in Nitro Rallycross. Right. 18 and 19 at Utah in the round one of this season series. At Utah, they won again. So, yeah, Travis wants to see that not happen this weekend. No malice, just wants to beat him.
No malice. I like that. Yeah. All right, so you can see inside the cockpit of Travis Pastrana getting set and ready to rip. As Pastrana and Hansen, look at this beautiful track. Love it. Nice green grass. This is just absolutely ideal. Thank you for having us out here at ERX. And if you're tuning in around the world on Peacock, thanks for watching. Here we go. Let's get ready to send it. Travis Pastrana, Kevin Hansen. Who's going to get the whole shot? Travis Pastrana has that inside line. Kevin Hansen gets a slight jump on, closes the door on him, and then goes right to angle. See if Travis Pastrana can gain some ground here over the kicker through the woods. Right on over. No, Hansen keeps it out front.
Great start. He's just got to keep the door shut now. A little bit of wheel spin out in the dirt there, but it's a great start. So Travis is going to have to do this tactic. He's going to have to try and take a joker and see if he can edge it on the lap times. The Subaru, we know, is quick around here. They've had a couple of tests here. At the minute, it's 6/10. Travis goes low. He said that line was going to come in. Has it come in just yet? I'd say it's close enough. Around the berm on the outside edge as well.
You saw Travis and the attitude of the vehicle when it came out of that lower line really got disrupted. So there's a bit of a bump down there at the bottom. But look at Travis. Looks like he gained some ground there. Is he going for the Joker lap? Yes, he is. So Travis goes into the Joker lap. That was probably the cleanest I've seen him in that Joker lap.
There are sections of the track, Jared, that are greener since they've been groomed than before. You know, where they've just spread the dirt out and scooped it a little bit more. You can see the shiny mud. So I don't think it's going to... It might change the Joker Delta a little bit, which is what we talk about, the difference between the Joker lap and the standard lap. But it's been changing all day, so it's not going to be much that's new for the teams, really.
Right.
Pastrana's come back by 5/10. It was 2.7. It's come down to 2.2.
2.2 seconds between these two drivers. Kevin Hansen continues on. You know, he's checking his mirrors. Where is he going to utilize his Joker lap? I'd have to assume on that final lap.
Got a 10th back off Pastrana now. Their spotters will be up on top of the announcing booth here on top of race control. They'll be looking at time 2.1. Pastrana takes another 2/10 off him, and Kevin knows. I thought he knew
the Joker lap.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be too close, but he decides to go this time. Done him.
And Pastrana gets the pass over Kevin Hansen. 1 lap left to go. Kevin Hansen's going to be chopping on the back end of that Subaru. Let's see if Travis can stay up there.
That's a great drive by Travis. Just in that lap in between, Jared, he got his head down. He took the 10s off Kevin where he needed to and closed it down. Kevin can have another look up the inside line.
We got contact and Kevin Hansen takes the lead.
Got him back with a pass on track. Travis won't be happy about that.
That rat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, wow, look at you, just flowing right now like Kevin. Okay, here we go.
Low. He's
high
going
line,
low.
low line. Travis gets into that berm. Looks like Kevin just keeps it a little cleaner. Travis needs to surge forward. Contact made once again. He's pushing him around.
I'm not sure about this one. Pastrana
Pastrana goes.
Side by side to the line. Kevin Hansen going to try him out. Drag him. He's got him. They changed places 3 times. I'm not sure if Travis had got that, Jared, that they would have let that one slide. It was pretty forceful. But it's a great battle. But he lost out on that up at that hairpin. Got to keep the door shut on the Hansens. They're good at that.
It was very Fraz-esque.
It was, yeah. It was. I saw the stewards, by the way, and they said the Fraser thing was really hard to decide on. Had a quick word with them, and they just like, look, it was super hard, but they felt he went a bit deep on the exit. Look at this, brilliant.
So you talked about, and we talked with Travis about the high line, low line. Travis taking the low line.
I think it's coming in. It's not quite there, is it? Just the middle of the corner here, just waiting. He gets out onto the berm on the outside edge. This is the big jump at the top. Goes to jump. I thought he was going to jump from left to right on the last lap. Not quite enough. Kevin's gone through.
Yeah, Kevin Hansen. That was a great battle. Came down to that final corner, but as you said, I mean, you saw some contact being made early on, and then just there, and this is where the race really started to take shape. Kevin Hansen goes for that Joker lap. You can see Travis get the pass, and he does take the lead.
That's what I've been saying about all day as well, Jared, about if you've got that extra tenth of a second, you can run the car all the way wide and shut the door. He didn't have to leave Hansen room because he's fully in front of him. Everybody else who's tried to do that has had just a fender's length where he hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah, and there was some contact made there. Hansen and Pastrana going at it. That's on turn 2. But then they reached out and touched somebody once again later on into that final corner. So here's where Travis gets a bit bullish. So stays in it. You can see him. Stays on it. I mean, he's just trying to, I think, actually just continue on with the momentum.
Kevin did well there, look, turning it back around again. And if Travis is out on that groomed part of the track, you know, where it's just a little bit loose and slippery, there isn't the traction there. He rotates the big Subaru round, but Kevin's already got the jump on him. Just, you've got to keep that door shut. There's only, it looks to me like the passing places, the hairpin up at the far end, then you've got the hairpin at the top and maybe the last corner. If you can keep the door shut in those places, I think you're golden. But you just can't leave a gap for the Hansens, I'm afraid.
No. Yeah, and he swung it out too far, as you said. Got into the loose stuff, couldn't get out of the hole. And Kevin Hansen is going to the final. So we are not duplicating what happened in Utah. It's Pastrana and Scott Speed. So now it's Kevin Hansen in the finals. Who is he going against? Will Speed be in the finals once again? Or is Steve Arpin going to rise to the occasion? We really saw Arpin race proper in that previous battle, Arpin and Timmy Hansen, and we saw how elated Pastrana was for Arpin. Just, again, half American. You know, he's Canadian, and he has dual citizenship now. But it's really cool to see Arpin rise, step up. He takes out the other Hansen bro. But waiting back there, you can see Scott Speed, the other Subaru, is going to be going against Steve Arpin.
The way we've done qualifying in Nitro has changed a bit from 18 and 19. So Timmy Hansen took that top qualifier in 18, and then Patrick Sandell for Subaru in 19 down at Utah. Scott took it last time, but, you know, we could be looking at somebody new on the TQ spot here with Kevin going through. Could be Speed again if he manages to get it done.
All right. Well, as we move on to our next battle, Katie is with our most recent winner.
Yeah, Kevin Hansen, he wanted to turn day one around compared to Utah, and you're doing it. What is the help behind all of this? Because they're working on your car a little bit.
Well, I have a great team behind me to manage this, and I think, you know, we're going really fast. I think we're going really fast. We have good speed and we have good racecraft. So, I mean, the guys are just fixing the final things and we'll be flying in the final.
You know, one of the things was Travis Pastrana. I had asked him a question that had nothing to do with racing, and he was like, whoa, no, I got to focus on racing. I'm going up against one of the Hansen brothers. How cool is it that you and your family are really creating this behind you?
Well, for sure, it's amazing. We have a huge legacy in our team, in our family, in our company, and, you know, it's such an honor to race for our name. I mean, my mom and dad has put such a legacy in there, and I'm so proud to race for them, and I'm so happy to be here and racing against Travis. He's such an amazing driver, really one of the best out there, I think, because he came from being, you know, a motocross freestyler, and he's kicking ass, honestly, here on the course. So, no, he's amazing to race, and that was probably the best race I've ever had.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, and someone else who's doing pretty well is you, but you did say this is very different and out of your element, this 97% dirt. How are you making it happen?
Well, I think I'm pulling out tricks I've learned from when I was very young, when I learned how to drive four-wheel drive, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think me and my spotter, we've become, you know, we were worked together since first lap in Rallycross, and we're just getting better and better all the time. And, you know, this last race was really nice, and we have one more to go.
One more to go, and I want you guys to take a quick look at his glasses. Do you see how that looks so nicely with the rest of the vibe going on here? Those are his racing glasses, in fact. Thank you.
Look at that. Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing, Kevin? Like I feel like we're on the red carpet. All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be seeing Arpin and Speed. Who's going against Kevin Hansen? We'll find out when we come back.
In 2018, Nitro Rallycross took the racing world by storm with the biggest jumps, the best drivers, and the most intense action ever. In 2021, Nitro Rallycross is expanding with 5 epic races. From the mountains to the Great Lakes, the desert, and the Sunshine State, Nitro Rallycross is coming to a racetrack near you. Nitro Rallycross, the series, revving up and taking off this September.
Nitro Rallycross, cars that fly, and here we are, flying high in the sky, ready to see who's going to go by into the finals. Steve Arpin, Scott Speed here at ERX Motor Park. And we have, again, Kevin Hansen just recently took out Travis Pastrana, but here is another Subaru with Scott Speed. He won the bracket battles in Utah. Can he do it again? Steve Arpin, I truly believe this is going to be one heck of a battle. I think they're going to stay off each other, not going to be as physical as some of the other battles we've seen so far, but I still think their racecraft is going to be really interesting to watch.
I think Arpin's got a great car underneath him, hasn't he? He just feels really comfortable in there, and Speed too.
All right, here we go. Getting the whole shot is Scott Speed. Gets that inside line, and there goes Arpin. Like I said, he just almost got in the back cover, but now he backed off. So the 41 of Scott Speed, and that Subaru, gets the jump. Steve Arpin over the hip. Let's see how they handle this hairpin.
Arpin's almost out, dragged him down to the hairpin. He gets a little bit too deep, though. He's hoping for the inside line. The exit tags Speed just a little bit there, but it's close enough. Look at Arpin's car underneath him. He looks so fast down through here. He will joker, and he's going to try and do this on lap time.
Look at this. So he takes the lower line. Again, there's a bump when you go into the low line and when you exit the low line.
I'm still loving the fact that they're able to lean on that dirt bank on the exit there. That's really working for me in terms of being able to get on the gas early, hook that car up and get an exit. Speed's got him by a few kart lengths here, but I'm sure Arpin's going to go for the tactics.
All All right, you said that he'd take the Joker lap, and yes, he does. So Steve Arpin goes in, and again, another really good he got into that kind of curtain there on the side. But let's see how he handles this.
3.2 is the gap. Keep your eye on that gap. That's what's going to tell us whether or not Arpin is feeling as comfortable in that car run by Lowenbro and GRX together as he was in the previous round. He looked unstoppable, but if anyone can stop him, Scott Speed. He won the Backlands last time out. He takes a 10th off Arpin this time.
I think he lost a little bit of time there. Kind of got held up on the hairpin. Scott Speed absolutely whipping through that section. Now I believe he's going to take the high line, and yes, he does.
The Hyundai just looks so drivable, Jared. He really does look like he's able to send it and hold it whatever angle he wants to. The gap's staying pretty similar. They'll go up the hill, and we'll get another good idea here if Scott's going to hold on to the final lap or not.
Those Subarus are not the quickest through that. Oh, there we go. So Scott Speed goes to that Yokohama Joker lap, and Steve Arpin obviously does gain some ground, but not enough.
Interesting that Speed responded this time. You know, they've gone the full distance before, but they obviously feel that Arpin is quick enough. Oh, Arpin is out, lands on the front right corner, he falls, the car fails, and he's parked on the track. The whole front right corner is off. Arpin just landed that at such an extreme angle, Jared. He's unlucky, I think, there, but also maybe lucky not to go end over end. Woo.
Wow, that front right corner took the brunt of it. Scott Speed is going to continue on, and now the work begins for tomorrow. That's the reality of it now, as Scott Speed looks like he's crawling through the rest of the course. I think he just got word from his spotter, hey, take it easy, Arpin's out, you're going to win. Not the way you want to win, of course, but Steve Arpin, dude, I mean, he's okay. Driver's out of the car, and he is okay. Man, that was crazy.
Yeah, limited re-prep time for Subaru. You know, they know they've got one battle to come. They know it's against a class-acting Kevin Hansen, so Speed's going to get that car back. They'll get it prepped as quick as they can, ready for the final battle where we get to see who is top qualified tomorrow. Those guys, I think, will end up on pole in the two, but look at this. I mean, he stood it on its nose as it came over the crest. I think it's the jump on the exit of turn one. We saw Tanner get big air, didn't we, on that inside line, almost as if there's just a slight lip, maybe a bit of a kicker. There's the strut in the middle of the road. We're getting good at this, aren't we?
Yeah, wow, just, yeah, shocking. Shocking it is.
That looks all right, though. Yeah, well, maybe not.
Throw it back in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to our safety team, hardworking team. They join us at every round of Nitro Rallycross. So he's going to rub some hemp fusion on that vehicle and bring it back to life. You know, alternative medicine. All right, so Speed. There's Arpin. There he is. The Canadian cowboy. Sometimes that buck's back, man. Whoops.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Look at this.
He's going to go back. Is he going back to pick up some of the parts himself? I think he is.
Wow, look at that.
Isn't that the rim? That's the rim with the hub attached to the back of it. Yep. Rim's broken. That's lower arm part.
You know who's not? The technicians and mechanics. They're not real hyped on that. But yeah.
I think we're going to see that back. So let's take a look at Arpin's jump. He's going to come up screen left. There he is.
Bye.
Ooh.
Wow. Well, yeah, look at the fluid running out of the reservoir.
It fired the shock absorber straight out the front corner, didn't it?
Yeah.
The rim's dug in and it's pulled the corner off the car. Oh, we're going to see it from the drone as well. So let's see if he takes that right-hand line that we saw Tanner take, Jared. Because remember the launch that Tanner got on the inside here.
Yep. See how it bucked?
Yeah.
So on that right side, there's like a pre-jump before the roller. It's like it's a booter. What is that? All right, so crazy for Steve Arpin, but Scott Speed will be getting the victory as our finals are set. Kevin Hansen and Scott Speed.
We've dragged another guest in. Well, he kind of just turned up here in the tower, but that's fine.
I don't think
he's one of our favorites.
I mean, he just forced his way. He forced his way in here.
That's hard.
It's not ideal, is it, mate? That was not. So what are you saying? The inside line on that jump after turn one. Fraser McConnell's here, guys, as you haven't seen him just yet. Watch this, look. It's such a kicker. We saw Tanner get super high there as well.
Wow, he's really overshot it. That can't feel nice.
But is it different on the right-hand side, Franz? Because to us, you see the sharpness,
there's like a ridge.
yeah?
There's like a ridge.
Of the cut. Have you noticed that in the car or not really?
I mean, not that drastic. I haven't jumped it that far, but, you know, it could be many things. Maybe the slide hadn't finished, you know, having all that momentum going sideways and flick back the next way. But, you know, that's super unfortunate. Very probably surprising for him.
Yeah, he's still smiling, though. He's still smiling. It's like if you did it, you're like, oh, well, it's okay. Like, I mean, it looks like a hidden little booter there.
So surprising is kind of an understatement, isn't it? I think it was quite surprising for him when the you know, the $40,000 corner came off the car.
I'd be surprised when the invoice starts coming.
That's going to be the surprise, isn't it?
Well, we're getting Steve Arpin towed off here, so oh, you know what? Hey, we'll get to talk to Fraser, but Katie Osborne is with the Canadian Cowboy, Mr. Steve Arpin.
Yeah, you know, he told me at the very beginning of this he was going to send it, and that was exactly what you did. First, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. These guys built me such a good car, and these Yokohama tires just built so much grip that I think I was going to have a good run there. It's like the famous racing line, right? But if I would have made it, we would have had them. But honestly, the car is great. Scott's just so good. He's so smooth. He's so fast. I just don't have that rhythm yet. And I just got to thank all these guys. Feel bad that we tore up this race car, but we're going to put Hemp Fusion on the podium tomorrow for sure.
And we got to thank you for taking us trackside. This is quite the view over here, but really what happened behind the wheel?
I think I might have got into, there's a little mud, a little wet spot on the very bottom going around turn one. And I just got, as I was going up the jump, it got about fishtaily on me. And when it took off, he calls me the Canadian Cowboy, the Bull One this time.
So that's one way to put it. Steve, we're glad to see that you're okay and that you have a good car that can run pretty quick here.
Hey, we just got to say one more thing. Hemp Fusion takes the risk on a guy like me, a no-name guy like me. So anyone who wants good CBD products, hempfusion.com. Check out discount code ARPIN at discount, 25% off and free shipping, one time only. So make sure to support those guys that support us.
Well, there you go. Steve Arpin's final words to the crowd.
Love it, love it. He's running a QVC ad right now. Act now, yeah, in show commercial. Hemp Fusion, act now. Arpin code, 25%, one time only.
Oh, you got to you're over 18 years old. Other offers may not apply.
Yeah, exactly. So we talked to Steve Arpin. We got Fraser McConnell up here. Fraser, Fraz, thanks for joining us up here. And 5 seconds added. So are you
they're in there. If
was it unjust?
It is what it is. I would do that same move 10 times out of 10. And unfortunately, this time, I got the bad end of the stick. But, the gap was there and put the car where it needed to be. And
we kind of liked it, didn't we?
Yeah, I was into it. I was like, maybe a little aggressive. But like he said, Kevin would have taken that line as well.
Yeah, and the way I put it is fair but hard,
Yeah.
We're all here racing hard, but at the same time racing fair. And like I said, I'll do it again.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you make of the track, man?
It's crazy fun, having the solo qualifying eliminated this morning made it a little tricky for everyone because in qualifying it was basically my second time going out for 4 laps, and to get this track nailed in 8 laps is a difficult task. But I think we're pretty nailed now. Everyone is pushing the limits and finding the fun part. So,
all right, Fraz, well, don't go anywhere. We have our next final, and this is Nitro Rallycross Next. You got Inland, McGuinness, Karam, Vakala. You got Johnson, Gordon, and Holker. So Holker is joining us, a newcomer here to Nitro Rallycross Next. As Vakala, excuse me. You can see 7 cars total. Who's going to come out on top? Who's to watch for our new fans?
I think this is the first time we've seen a 7-car race in these guys. Obviously, they've been out in smaller groups. McGuinness on the front row, won round 2 in Utah. You've got Casper Janssen on row 3 in the green and black. He won round 1 in Utah. Sage Karam has been on the podium in American Rallycross in the past plenty of times. Lane Vakala, this is a great result, and Enland is a front runner out in Sweden. But to be honest, you can't count out Holker at the back either. Was quick, but had problems with damage.
All right, here we go, ready to race, and we're going to send it here for this battle. And here we go, 7 vehicles. Enland, let's see if he holds on to that lead. Yes, he does. So there's McGuinness there, number 9 is the 24. Slides in. Sage Karam goes into the side of the 9.
Karam's hard on him there. Karam was a bit too hard off the start for my liking. I think the car broke
back so he's crab walking.
That hasn't worked at all. Now McGuinness has got into it because McGuinness is cross about that, and that's just that's a wasted race for both those guys.
Oh, what a bummer for McGuinness and Karam. Just absolutely getting into it.
But Enlund way out front there. Kasper Janssen from row 3 is already up into P2. You've got Sage Karam alongside Holger there on the split line down the back. Karam trying to go around the outside line in the background of the shot. You'll see it now. But it's a good lead for Martin Enlund and Kasper Janssen there as well. So I think between those two, Bakkerud on the inside line here, Holger. Holger going to try and go all the way around the outside up to the head. But it'll be a brave move if he gets that done, and he does. Got to watch for the truck tyres inside. Great stuff.
Yeah, man, it looks like Holger is yeah, man, what a bummer there. But Enlund right now, 1 second lead over second place of Janssen.
Janssen's closing him down for me. Let's see where Sage Karam is. I think the car's been removed from the track. That's good, so no red flag for us. Karam's car's gone. McGinnis has just come past the announcing booth with the front of the hood missing from the car. But Franz, that was carnage at the start there. Like, Karam was pushing McGinnis wide. I thought it was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, you know, really aggressive. And the rear end of these light cars are built really well. And for that to break, it must have been some heavy damage. But, you know, Kasper is hunting down Martin right now. He looks to be driving a lot smoother.
Kasper's been racing alongside you, not in the same category. He's done Rally X Nordic, and I saw a lot of you in him when I first saw you in ARX. I love the fact you were sendy, but it wasn't necessarily quick, and you worked on that craft. And I feel like Kasper's had the same path. You know, he appeared super sideways in Nordic, and by the end of the season, he was up on the podium. You know, he was great.
So you're saying Kasper's a really bright future then?
No. Kasper's
He's going to be aggressive and go in and dive in on any line. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's the same.
As he should.
Got the speed, he's got the car control, but he's tidied it up, and he's now ultra fast.
Yeah, I mean, very, very little experience in rallycross and the lights, and to do what he's been doing in these short amount of events is very impressive.
Martin Enlund out front and Kasper Janssen. The car doesn't look as nose heavy. It seems like his car is really divey more than any other car. And maybe got some tips as far as, you know, clearing it and getting the attitude of the vehicle to actually level out. Not just as I say that, he goes over the hip and he noses down.
Needed just a little bit more airtime earlier on today, didn't he? At some point, I'm expecting to see tactics here. Gordon's gone joke already, yeah, and okay, exactly what I thought. Janssen's gone in, so he's got the gap down to half a second. He clips the wall, tags it with the rear end. Has he broken it? It looks like it's going to hold on. Check it up over this jump on the first landing. If that's good, then he's good. Yeah, he is. So Janssen now up at 2.9. He got that gap down. He's got to hunt him down. Holger's miles behind. He's another 4 seconds back. This is a great run for Janssen, but he's got to chase Enlund.
Yeah, Enlund is looking really good. We saw this earlier today. So Enlund and this track are really simpatico. They are just a match made in rallycross heaven. 2.7 seconds. But keep in mind, Enlund has not hit that Yokohama Tires Joker lap.
So Enlund is always normally a very, very clean drive out up front. And, you know, I wouldn't expect them to send him this lap. They're going to keep him out till the end and, you know, trust in his pace.
So 2.9 seconds was the gap. Franz thinks they should trust his pace. I wonder if they think Janssen's quicker, will they respond immediately? What is it as they come up the hill? It was 2.9 and it is now 2.6 and they've not sent him. So I don't know. I kind of feel like they maybe should have responded on that one and given Janssen less time to chase him down. Janssen's looking danger.
Yeah, he is closing him down a little bit, but you can see that the overdriving is coming into play. But if I was Martin's spot, I would trust my driver and, you know that he's going to bring it to the finish.
So if they pull you into the Joker early, then does that always make you suspicious that you're not going quickly enough?
Yeah, it kind of makes you think there must be something going on. Why am I not going in the last lap? You know?
You're right. So it's in your head then. It's like, nah, not really, mate. This isn't according to plan.
So Enlund 2.67 seconds over Janssen, and both of them taking their high line. So you're saying take it this lap, or you're saying take it the last lap?
I think he's got to wait now because the gap was 3 before. If he can peg it at 2.6 and keep it here, then he's doing well, you know. But Janssen, okay, now Janssen's too sideways in the previous corner. He can't. He's not closing it in for 2.6. So yeah, he's going to go right the way to the end.
Martin's getting the give me everything you have lap right now. This is going to be a big push from him.
That's what he's going to be hearing on the radio. Everything you got.
Everything you got. Last lap, mistake from Kasper. 3.2 now.
Yeah, 3.2, and don't hit that right side. Don't hit the right side.
Yeah,
the Tanner and the Arpin jump over.
The kicker. You're hitting the kicker if you're there. Tiny through there as well. Here's Tanner's
right next to us. I didn't see.
He's like, I'm right here. Tanner Faust is literally just outside the window listening to me and Jared say, yeah, great jump, mate. It was serious. At least Arpin outdid you, Tanner. Yeah, he's nodding. He knows. There's a bigger invoice going Steve's way. Here we go. Kasper Janssen up over the jump. It's 3.4. Enlund He should be safe here.
Yeah, Martin Enlund bringing it around, hitting that Yokohama tire, Joker lap. And here comes Janssen. Is there enough? Can he make it up? Oh! Enlund goes into the wall once again, but look at Casper Janssen. And it's all Martin Enlund.
Now.
Yeah, look at that.
Finished, but the back end is bending.
Yeah, so definitely took a hit.
Got away with it, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's a good reason to go Joker on the last lap here. In some ways, if you think about the risk factor of the Joker, if you want to take a risk on it, should you push a tyre off the rim, you're only gunning it to the line. It's a straight line. You know, you can get away with murder from the exit of the Joker down. Look at this drone follow. Yes. To that. Look at that. Oh, bumps it. Yes. Look at the skills on that.
Well, I was just going to say, Holker, congratulations to him, gets third place in his first Nitro Rallycross Next race.
Said he was quick, didn't we, earlier on today, but just didn't get the luck going his way.
Yep. All right, let's take a look here as it began. What are you looking at?
It didn't look that hard. Sage coming into the side there.
It's actually when George came back and tapped him that broke the back of
he was
car.
broken before. Sage was broken before, but I mean it didn't look like anything too crazy of a hit. So you know, maybe just a worn out part. That happens sometimes. You can get like a hairline fracture in some of the parts, and it just needs a little bit of kick.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Give out.
This was where Janssen was so close. Casper Janssen had got within, well, he was 5/10 back when he went to the Joker, but then maybe didn't quite get the laps he needed over the next couple to close it down again, and that gave Enlund the confidence to go right to the end of the race. I think this is Janssen probably diving off to the Joker now. It is K-rail on both sides of the car here, but it's the outside you've got to watch out for, and you can see where people are running up the wall. Look, the dirt's missing, and actually Casper Janssen clattered that big time, way harder than I thought on first look.
And that's what I was talking about. Those Subarus, they're big, man, and that's what's going to get risky tomorrow. You know, the dirt's going to accumulate more for the 10-car final. They're barely going to squeeze through there.
This was Enlund. Is it as hard as... Yeah, it's pretty deep. I'd say Casper hits it harder. Enlund hits it with both at the same time and kind of rides the berm, whereas Casper bounced off the K-rail.
It's so difficult.
It has... Yeah, you're right. It's not the rear link, hasn't it?
It's so difficult to know the grip in the Joker. You know, it's getting such less cars running on it compared to the inside line. Yeah. And you go in there, one car length wide, and you have to just hope and pray that you're going at the right speed or else you're going to end up in the concrete.
Yeah, and the car pushes up. Fortunately, it's K-rail and not just flat wall. That would cause more damage, so it kind of does kick it up a little bit, the dirt that's kind of accumulated over there. But, yeah, you're on marbles in there. That's what we're talking about. Just overall, I'm loving the course. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I am too.
10-car final. It's going to be sick.
And the start line is actually quite a steep uphill and brand new tarmac. So the grip is really low, and, I mean, if you get a right launch setting, you'll take off like a rocket and hopefully pass some people.
So one more stop on this party train, and that is our bracket battle final. So don't go anywhere. We still have some on-track action. Kevin Hansen and Scott Speed for our bracket battle.
So this is turn one again. So McGinnis is outside. Sage Karam, yeah, you're right. Karam's broken the set. So actually, that's where I thought Karam was out of order. I thought he was running McGinnis off, but the rear left was broken, so it ran him wide. So that's not Karam's bad. And then McGinnis here probably shouldn't have driven through him at this point.
Yeah, it would have been hard for him to know that the car is broken in front of him, and just really unfortunate.
Both unlucky for both drivers, basically.
Well, that's Rallycross.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. When you think how far up the grid they were, that's not necessarily something you would expect. Have a look and see. So here is side by side with McGinnis, and it's broken immediately. So actually, nobody at fault there. That is side by side contact, and the rear left toe link has let go, and then that's run Karam wide, which has run him off. Now McGinnis is probably thinking, mate, don't put me in the wall, and is then all fired up as they've gone on the braking zone up towards the hairpin.
Sage is our passenger in that car at that point. That's unfortunate.
All right, well, Fraz, good luck tomorrow, man, and looking forward to it. Hey, let's go down to Katie Osborne with our confirmed winner here in Next.
Yeah, no penalty here for Martin Enlund, and that's a perfect thing. You know, you guys were saying this track and Martin seem to be a match made in Rallycross heaven. Why did this suit you so well?
I mean, I come from cross-kart, and sliding around is my thing, so I'm not used to these type of tracks, but I'm super happy to be here on the top step of the podium. I mean, the track is so fun, and all the jumps, after every corner you hit a new jump, so it's super fun.
You know, one thing I thought was really special is you were out here watching all day long. How much did that pay off?
I actually don't really know that, but the track is always evolving, so you need to see the grip and how it all evolves during the day, so it's super important.
And taking it to the track, how much did you feel you had that in the bag, or did you have to push it?
I mean, my spotter said always that to push, so I don't really know how far behind the other guys was, but I'm super happy to be standing at the top step of the podium.
Well, we're going to let you celebrate, Marlon. Congratulations. Coming from 2 seconds in Utah, it's only up for here.
Congratulations, Martin Enlund. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we got Tanner Foust in the booth. We're going to wrap out with the one, the only golden child, Tanner Foust. Congratulations, Martin Enlund gets the win here Saturday.
Nitro Circus is back with the action-packed You Got This tour. Top athletes in FMX, skate, BMX, scooter, and more are ready to get the party started, throwing down huge world's firsts with more crazy contraptions, more insane stunts, and more high adrenaline fun than ever before. Get ready, because we're coming to a city near you.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Get your tickets now at nitrocircus.com. Nitro RX is brought to you by Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. Subaru. Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. And by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Welcome back here to ERX round 2 of Nitro Rallycross. Well, round 3 of Next, because they have double headers each round of the supercars. So Martin Enlund comes out on top, Kasper Janssen, and then John Holtger, a Next car rookie, flying that Dreyer Reinbold. But Enlund's 1 and 2, so congratulations to Martin Enlund, and some interesting things unfolding there in that battle, in that final overall. But overall, we have a special guest up here joining us. And as you can see, the point standings, Martin Enlund leads the pack, Kasper Janssen, Lane Bakela, and George McGinnis, and rounding out top 5, Eric Gordon, who's got that brand new car. But our guest up here, Tanner Foust. Tanner, doing double duty, not triple duty. You're up here announcing with us, but we get our final set. We got Scott Speed and Kevin Hansen. What do you make of Next car?
Oh my gosh! I mean, these guys running so many double header on these tracks is absolutely insane. I'm with Dreyer Reinbold, and I see all those lights cars out there. Teams thrashing. Yeah. Like, they are absolutely shredding those cars every single time they come in. You see how hard it is on all the cars out here, but those cars don't have the suspension travel or a lot of the tech to absorb these big doubles. Yeah. So the fact that they keep them running heat after heat is really a testament to the team, I think.
You're talking double headers, but you're running a double header. yourself this weekend. So you're out in the side-by-sides as well as Supercar. How's that been? Yesterday was interesting over that big jump, Tanner, on day one. What happened there, eh?
I haven't added it up, but I might have the most airtime, I think. You know, just both of those.
Frequent flyer miles?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
I was like, he ain't no spring chicken either. His back's going to be barking.
No offense taken. There's the racers are a blast. I mean, the side-by-sides. I am sponsored by Polaris, so I'm driving a Razor, but they're an absolute blast. And they kind of are a bit, you know, they're very suited. You can see it from the outside. They're super suited to this type of racing. They've got plenty of suspension travel. The lap times are not far off a $500,000 supercar.
Yeah.
And if not better, if it's slippery. And they just shred this track up. At first, it was an advantage learning the track, I think. But now I'm really having to separate. Like, okay, I can go full throttle on the jump in the Razor, and I need to check up on the jump in the Audi. So it can be a little bit difficult.
You mentioned slippery, Tanner. Sorry to interrupt the party, but look how hard it is raining. We have one race left to go in the bracket. This is for the top qualifier spot tomorrow. How quickly is this track going to change now the rain's falling? I mean, it looks pretty good at the minute. I think if they get that race underway ASAP, it should be good, shouldn't it? But how quickly will it change?
Well, this type of dirt is really made to hold the water to avoid dust when it comes to the off-road truck races. So that top layer will be dusty. The first time they drive over it, it's going to be like a fresh layer of powder snow. And then once they dig into it, it's going to be fine. There's going to be good dirt right underneath. But with only 2 cars, they're going to be sliding around for at least the first 3 laps, which is all the whole race.
That's the whole length. Yeah, it's 1 3-lap battle. Yeah, so umbrellas are up. This is looking very autumnal, but oof. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Katie's got an update. What's going on, Katie?
Well, Scott Speed was just talking to me a little bit about what this means for him. The team said no changes with the rain coming down, but something that he was indicating is how challenging this track is with it getting rutted up. And Tanner, you could probably speak to this, the risk versus reward, especially on a race like this. How does a driver manage that when it's go time?
Well, certainly, I mean, there's a points difference first to second, and qualifying first overall gets you a nice bump on the pole. But as we've seen, front row, you've got a chance to win the first corner from either spot. So it really may not be a good time to push the limits, send the team working all night long because of a wall hit.
Oh, no. 1 point.
Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking as well, I think they'll end up poling semi-1 and poling semi-2, so they're both kind of in a good situation anyway. I'm kind of thinking, on the other hand, you know, you got all night to fix it. I mean, I know
you're going back to the hotel and having some adult beverages.
It's the wrong approach. Yeah, it's the wrong approach, but I don't know. Yeah.
I can tell you both of these guys are wondering what the hell is on the other side of this hill.
Yeah.
Because from that starting grid, you're looking up a blind crest. Your turn-in point is completely blind, and you have no idea how much grip is right there, and their windshield wipers are going crazy. So I'm sure there's a lot of anxiety there.
Who do you think this favors, Hansen or Speed in this situation?
Well, Speed has had some test laps out here in the rain, so I know that he's probably got a little bit of a feel for it. Hansen, being on that left side, puts him in the cushion, which is going to be less likely to be complete ice.
Yeah, won't be slick where it's not clean, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. That clean line on the inside is going to be glare ice, so I think Hansen's probably going to push it a bit harder.
So where Subaru don't have the car, unless it's in the pre-grid, are they dialing in some clicks on the suspension maybe?
All right, let's take a look, and I'm loving the course. I think it's fun. We had absolutely ideal conditions, but Pastrana said this is the best rallycross course in the country. Do you agree with that, Tanner?
I mean, it flows. It's awesome. It's shown to be great racing. I think so far, yes. And, man, it is an absolute blast when you get the jump speed right. I'll just throw that disclaimer out there. And maybe a morning track walk would be good, too, because some of the jumps are a little bigger on the right side than the left side. But, yeah, unbelievable. The G-load that you get in Turn 5 here and then over the crest, the immediate flick over a blind crest into Turn 6 is so fun. And then dropping down the hill is a surprising big step down, and it can be really hard to hit the apex in the final corner before the finish.
Yeah, and the Joker lap, we're guesstimating, for side-by-sides, about 2 seconds. For supercars, it's anywhere from like 2 to 3, and even up to like 3.1 seconds that you're adding. So it gets pretty close.
The Joker lap is going to be really tricky now in the wet. Because that braking is fluff and mud and just chocolate pudding. So it's going to be gnarly for these guys because it's so important with only 3 laps. The Joker it's the make it or break it. So yes, you can send it into the wall and end your day right away in the Joker.
Woof. All right, Kevin Hansen, Scott Speed, you can see him right there. Both these gentlemen flying the Red Bull flag. 2 very different backgrounds, obviously. And excited to see how Hansen and Speed are going to throw down. We have no idea.
This start is going to be absolutely critical. It's uphill on fresh tarmac. It's wet, you know. It's going to be super slick, and I think the start's absolutely crucial. You just keep the door shut then behind you. We can see some blue groove in turn 1, but that's not necessarily great with a fresh coating of rain on it, is it, Tanner?
No, it could be really slippery. Both of these guys are thinking, you know what, I'm just going to slip the clutch and drive off the line instead of dump it. Scott's got experience with that, as does Hansen.
Here we go, Hansen and Speed here for our bracket battle finals. And look at that, Scott doesn't even leave the line.
No.
Is that strategy?
No, definitely not. That's a mistake from Scott at the start, whatever happened there. And he's tiptoeing into turn 1.
He very well might just save the car.
I'm thinking, has he got a problem? So Scott's going super slowly past the announcement position. You're seeing Kevin Hansen out front, who I'm pretty sure is going to get a radio call in the very near future, say wind it in because you're good. But is Scott going to turn right and head out to the paddock?
Yeah, I think he is. I think first on either semi is good enough for him. So I think you're right.
Yeah. So So you think there really is something wrong? He's not just icing it.
Yeah, he's going super slow back to the paddock. I just don't see why go slowly back. He wasn't when he lost the start and then set off. He wasn't that far behind Kevin. In these wet conditions, he could have watched Kevin's braking points and closed him down on the first lap. At least made a fight out of it. I don't think he would have given up that easily, which just makes me think something else. Yeah, maybe he broke something on the launch, Jared, which we didn't see. It didn't look like the car moved at all.
He takes the Joker lap, so get it out of the way, and Kevin's gonna cruise on through. Scott Speed, he's back over there on turn 3, now going and approaching the jump. So
it's honestly a good time to gain a little bit of data for the team, a little bit of seat dyno kind of data, just on what different colored dirt feels like when it rains, because tomorrow's, who knows, we found one thing we learned about the weather here is that there's no chance in predicting it. So why not get some of that data for yourself and the team?
All right, so Scott Speed crawls into the Joker lap. The slowest race known to man.
It's really, I feel sorry for everyone who's waited here in the rain. We are sorry. We didn't mean it.
It's Scott and Kevin's fault.
Yeah, definitely. Go find them in the paddock afterwards and have a word. No, it was it's the way it goes sometimes.
All right, so as these gentlemen are crawling their way through, I throw it down to Katie Osborne. What's up?
Yeah, Travis Pastrana is giving the lowdown here as kind of everyone's looking around here a little bit shocked. What happened with Scott?
Scott Speed, he wanted to be able to go with Subaru 1-2 into the final if he won this heat. This is not great for as a production and as a TV, but Scott, that was the biggest compliment he could have ever given to me. He said, look, you messed up. Kevin outraced you. He goes, don't let it happen again. He goes, you start front row with Kevin. If I don't win, I'll start front row, and that puts us front row for the final. If you win and I can win, we can go Subaru 1-2. So that was the nicest compliment that Scott has ever paid to me. And also, as for Nitro Rallycross, I definitely was looking forward to this battle, and it would have been super slick. That sucks, but you guys, it's going to be an amazing show tomorrow, and that was cool. That first Scott.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Sorry, a little bit of strategy coming to play there. Tanner, that made your head spin there a little bit.
No chance, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's honestly, if there is a benefit to it, great, but also not risking the car is also if that's just the byproduct, then it's a win-win there. I learned a lot, honestly, just watching him run on that to see where there's grip and where there isn't. So I'm sure they're learning a lot right now too. So it is beneficial to push a little bit on this stuff, but it sets up for some interesting races for tomorrow.
Yep. Scott Speed did exit track, so obviously he will get second. Kevin Hansen is 1 point richer as he gets the checkered flag. So congratulations, Kevin Hansen, getting in the overall bracket battle win. Scott Speed in second. There's Scott So again, little strategy coming to play there. Again, little anticlimactic coming into the finals, but you know what? It rained, it did this, it did that. I wonder if that strategy would have played out if it was dry, if we just would have raced. So, all right, let's throw it down to Katie, down to the Subaru pits.
Well, Travis Pastrana is entirely grateful for you. What a team.
No, it's not even a team move. It's just the smart move. Like, you look at the way the two heats were lined up, this one is way easier. And plus, I think Travis can get him, heads up. He wins his heat race, I win mine, we're back on the front row for the final. But either way, like, it's a no-brainer decision for us. The second heat's way easier, it's a lot less competitive, so yeah. And we didn't break anything, so really proud of these guys. They did great all day. Car's awesome. I like it.
Anything you took from today that you can take in tomorrow now?
Yeah, I mean, the track was in pretty great shape towards the end as far as water. It wasn't too wet. So I think the conditions tomorrow will be really similar to those last battle rounds. Plus, I've been out here all day battling with guys running the track, you know, in race conditions. So I feel like I have a good idea of following guys, and that race experience out here is probably going to help tomorrow.
Well, best of luck out there. Tanner, how would you have worked it teammate to teammate there?
Well, Scott's a lot smarter than I am, so I wouldn't. I probably would have dumped the clutch and jumped too big.
Right.
But
just hurt my back. Your car.
Now, Scott always has some strategy and some angle, and the team, you know, has to contribute to all of that to keep you guys all on the same page. But either way, it makes for a big setup tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot of things to happen before there's a Subaru front row. I may not have a lot of chance in disrupting that, but I'm going to do my best. And but there's still a lot of chips to fall their way, I think, between now and then.
Yep. All right, well, Tanner, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow in the action. Supercar game day is tomorrow. When we come back, we'll recap what went down here today between side-by-sides, Next Car, and Supercar. Thank you to all the fans either joining us in the building or online. When we come back, again, we'll recap here day one of Nitro Rallycross at ERX here in Minnesota.
In 2018, Nitro Rallycross took the racing world by storm with the biggest jumps, the best drivers, and the most intense action ever. In 2021, Nitro Rallycross is expanding with 5 epic races. From the mountains to the Great Lakes, the desert, and the Sunshine State, Nitro Rallycross is coming to a racetrack near you. Nitro Rallycross, the series, revving up and taking off this September.
But that
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
eating up all the food. You know why? Because you guys always put out such a great spread.
They do a great job here.
I'm telling you, the Subaru catering is so good. But that, you know, we're sitting here. You got a big-ass trailer. You got a really rad rally car. Bro, did you ever think that we were going to go from big wheels to this?
We made it, man. Or we still do big wheels. That's the problem.
Never lose who you are, man. That's what makes you great.
I appreciate that, Tom P. It's just the Nitro Rallycross to have everything kind of come to fruition, and we had, you know, so much kind of dust in the first round. We're like, okay, we got it under control, we're good. And then we definitely don't have dust, but I tell you what, hopefully we make it through the rest of the day without too much more rain, and feeling really good in the rally car. I was trying to, Deegan and I kind of did the same bicycling, wanted to go back to 2 wheels there.
Well, I feel like you do best under pressure, and you're a competitor. You're deep down to the core, you're a competitor. So you just wanted to keep that dollar competitive.
Right. So hopefully we fix the Can-Am. I'm sorry, Scotty. Every time I borrow one of his vehicles, I don't crash that much stuff unless there's people better than me. And unfortunately, every time the camera's on, there's people that are better. And I don't know. I just was trying to catch Carlson, and all of a sudden I was on two wheels. I almost flipped it. And same spot though, the Deegan. We kind of matched it.
Turns out it's just qualifying. I wouldn't sweat it.
You talking about qualifying?
Yeah. Practice.
Yeah, nah.
Let's talk about practice. But how you feeling for the main event?
I don't think we're going to be ready on the Can-Am, but to be honest, we're here for Supercars.
Me too.
Yeah. No, the Subaru team has done such a great job, and honestly, Scott Speed sat down with me and said, look, you've been fighting and scrapping your whole life. He's like, at the end of the day, he said, you're bringing these guys into your world. He's like, you belong here, man. He goes, when you get out front, you got to just block. You got to protect. He goes, we don't need to scrap. We got the best car. We got the jumps, and we're ready to rock.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Me and 190 other countries are ready to watch this whole thing go down. Premier Racing League. I can't believe where this whole thing's gone. And, man, thank you for including me in your life.
You want another sandwich?
Yeah.
In here in the Kevin Hansen tent, it's all about barbecue for some reason, but as we get a good look at Kevin's car, we have a little Travis on there, a little Tanner on there, some Fraser, but hey, you pulled it off. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Wow, what afternoon. The weather was so unstable. We had to get, update on the tires. I think everybody did a great job today to manage this race and get it, together. We did a full bracket qualifying. Nobody thought that was possible this morning, so super pumped to get out with the win and going all these races through and finally, again, the long way, but in a good way. So super pumped.
You told me this morning your goal was to have a better day one than in Utah. What's your goal for tomorrow?
Well, we started in a great position in the heat, and you have pole position and everything is in your hands. So that's a really great thing, and I cannot affect what everybody's behind will do if they will push and so, but I will just have a good start and try to bring it home. And we have a great position to bring it home to the front row of the main event. So hopefully not having to go through all the races again.
And just a quick thought, you're talking about the front row. Did you have any idea that Scott was going to do that?
No idea. I mean, he was very late to come to the race, and then I had not a great start for sure in the race, and I was like, okay, man, he's gonna come back, but we never showed up, and I saw he dropped out after 2 laps, so then we really cruised it home. But I mean, the guys deserve this win. They worked so hard since the last race with all the damage, all the battles we had then. Now it was in a great shape, and we went through all the way to win the battle qualifying, so we are super pumped.
Congratulations on a great day today, and aiming for a great day tomorrow as well, guys.
Thank you so much, Katie. Really appreciate it. And congratulations, Kevin Hansen, as he gets the overall victory. Andrew, always a pleasure. What a great day. Fantastic event. Started out wet, ended a little wet, but tomorrow the forecast is awesome. That's what's going to unfold. Kevin Hansen, Scott Speed, trying to play a little strategy there. Scott, the Subarus, but overall, your thoughts on today's festivities?
My thoughts on the strategy side of things. It's interesting because you can have a plan, but it can all go wrong. So it's a risky one. It's a risky one trying to make a plan for racing, but it's been a great day. I think biggest shout out to me is for Yokohama for cutting all the tyres when the conditions were tricky, and to the track crew who this morning worked so hard to make sure we could have a good day's racing. And it's been fun, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow when we've got multiple cars on track and hopefully a bit of sunshine and a decent crowd again.
The sun's already back out again and shining the brightest. Timmy Hansen, 52 points, because points were up for grabs for each round as they advanced. 4 in total. Kevin Hansen is 4 points richer. Scott Speed gets 3. This is overall our championship total. So from Salt Lake City to today's bracket battle points, overall, these are our standings. So Timmy Hansen leads the pack, Steve Arpin second, Kevin Hansen third, Fraser McConnell fourth. Rounding out top 5, Scott Speed. And the heats in regards to tomorrow, this is who we're going to see out there on track. So Kevin Hansen, Pastrana Hansen, see Doran, Eriksson, Carlson, Foust, Bennett. And then in Heat 2, Speed, Arpin, Larsson, McConnell, Andreas Bakkerud, and the big ham, Captain Bigham.
I get now what Speed's done. Speed didn't want to be in the same heat as Travis. Now, I personally would have locked out the front row of Heat 1. Both of you top 2 car go through. I think, but what Speed is looking to do is for Travis to win Heat 1, him to win Heat 2, and lock out the front row of the final. I get it now. He wasn't making himself super clear, and we were all kind of like, okay. But yeah, for me, from a risk point of view, why don't you lock out the heat race and both go through? But then you row 1, row 2. I don't know. Maybe it's a master stroke. We'll find out tomorrow.
We'll see where it lands. We'll see where those Subarus land. And we're going to land right back here tomorrow for Nitro Rallycross Round 2 ERX. Thank you so much, Andrew Coley, Katie Osborne, Street Bike Tommy. I'm Jared Deander. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll send it here at ERX Nitro Rallycross Round 2 tomorrow.